98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Ringwood Reserve on another fantastic afternoon of EFNL Grand Final football. And today it's Division 4 style, and it's Surrey Park taking on Kilsyth in what is going to be an absolute rip snorter of a grand final. There isn't too much between these two sides, and I look forward to being part of the call team and the host for this afternoon's pre-match. Just before that, we need to wish a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and I'm sure there's a few of them out there playing in grand finals this afternoon. So it'll be a good night for them if they happen to win it, and I'm sure things will happen from that victory tonight. Yesterday, Donvale in Division 3. They entered the EFNL Hall of Fame with a very, very convincing and grinding 60-point victory against their win, and now they look forward to enjoying all the celebrations along with their reserves team that go with it. But without further ado, it's time for me to introduce the panel to help me go through what happened yesterday, as well as put the crystal ball on and find out what's going to happen today. And it's first of all going to welcome Josh Ward to the position. Hello, Josh.
Hello, Brash.
How are you?
Good, mate. Good to be alongside you again.
Thank you very much.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, as everyone knows that tunes into the podcast, that tunes into the match of the rounds. They know my allegiances, so I'm looking forward to today. It's a big day for Surrey Park as well again, and we're going to be in for an absolute ripper. It is a picture-perfect day again. The weather absolutely turning it on, and the ground is in really good nick. I was just down there before. It's as hard as you can get, but looking forward to this game and discussing all the matches that took place around the grounds. Yeah,
interesting, and was a good day. But our other gentleman of great note, an absolute knowledge pit of information from EFNL football in his many years of experience, and once again it's really good to welcome him to the pre-match. Matt Spiderlee. Good afternoon, Spider.
Good afternoon to you, Brash, and all the listeners, and a happy Father's Day to everyone. And make sure if you're not sure what you're doing this afternoon, we'll bring your father along to the 4th Division Grand Final out here at East Ringwood and sharing what is a glorious afternoon. And it's going to be a great game of football. And our man next to us, Josh, he's a bit nervous. I feel like he's going to age, Brash, in the next couple of hours, about 10 years. He looks like a little kid at Christmas time. A kid in a candy store. He just cannot wait. Look, it's set up for a big finale for Division 4 between these two quality outfits, and they're looking forward to previewing the game this afternoon and this hour, but also reflecting on what took place yesterday, because some wonderful results for some teams and some disappointment and heartbreak for some others.
Yeah, and you are right, Spider. It is Christmas Day almost for me with Surrey Park in this grand final. But I want to say Happy Father's Day to my dad and to my pop as well, who I hope are tuning in actually now. But done terrific.
I always keep getting confused about Mother's Day and Father's Day. Yeah. It's always the second week in May, and I always thought it was the second week in September for both, or the second week of the month for both. I wasn't expecting it to be in the first week of September. I lose track of these things, being not a father myself. Not that I know of.
As long as we all remember what our fathers have done for us in the past and what they will do for us in the future. But it's great for us to recognise all their efforts, and I'm sure they all enjoyed the spoils of breakfast this morning and coming along to the footy as well.
Also joining us will be our feature guests will be the two coaches, Simon Caldwell and James Kernworthy, as the broadcast goes through to game day. But look, we might just quickly change tact, and we'll just quickly gloss over yesterday's results. I want to start at Premier. Magnificent day of Premier League football. at Bayswater yesterday in both seniors, reserves and 19s, and I believe the combined losing margins for all three games was about 9 points. So it was 1 point in the seniors, 2 points in the reserves, and 6 points, I think, in the under 19.5. So that would have been a crackerjack game of football at Bayswater yesterday. Roval 13-7-85 defeated Vermont 13-6-84. You couldn't get it any closer than that. Josh, what do we take out of that game? What do we take out of that game from yesterday?
Well, put it simply, whoever Vermont face next weekend, whether that be Baldwin or Doncaster East, they're going to have their work cut out for them. I reckon this is a potential grand final preview in Premier Division. Baldwin definitely have a case. Doncaster East at their best have a case, but just the quality and how high scoring it was, it's a grand final-esque game before the grand final. So it's heartbreaking for Vermont, who we had Ray Baird out there. He said they were trailing all day and just came back in the last couple of minutes in the third and the final quarter and just were pipped at the post, and it's so unfortunate. But joy for Roval, who make it 2 grand finals in a row.
However,
sorry, bro.
That's all right. Spider, I was just going to allude to the fact is that we've spoken throughout the year the fact that Roval is probably with their younger group is about 12 to 18 months ahead of where Vermont are with their list. Do you think that played a small part in yesterday's victory for them, or was it just the fact that that Roval made the running for most of the afternoon and deserved the win, even though Vermont came hard?
Not really. Look, in terms of the age profile difference, I think, Brash, it comes down to the following things. So when you look back at the game on reflection, you look at the first half. So Roval had a lead of 3 goals at half time. So Roval were going into 50 and they were scoring at every opportunity, putting the pressure on the Eagles defence, who we've talked about how they've been so reliable. But they were put under pressure yesterday, right? Through the midfield, they were made to work, and Roval's midfield certainly were on top in that first half, and were taking their chances, were good at clearance, really put their imprimatur on the game. So from that standpoint on the game, Roval ticked the box for going in at half time. After half time, Vermont kicked 8 goals to 5, and we know that last quarter there wasn't a lot of goals kicked till late in the game, and then Roval get over the line by 1 point. So they ticked the box because they're into the grand final. But that's the second semi. Now, the discussion point has been, and I said this on Friday, and there's been messages floating around in the past 12 hours and people suggesting that I've been very critical of Roval. The reality is, and the facts are, that Roval have ticked the box for making consecutive grand finals.
Yep.
But they haven't done anything yet. You've won the second semi. The only thing that you've got is a ticket to Bayswater, an invitation to go there on grand final day and play. So there's nothing, you can be grateful that you've got that opportunity, but you've still got to come back and you've got to replicate it. And you've got to go and do it again, whether you're playing Baldwin, whether you're playing Doncaster East, or whether you come up against Vermont again in 2 weeks' time. Vermont and Roval are the 2 best teams in the competition. Right? Yep. I think there's a gap between Baldwin and Doncaster East.
Well, we'll find that out this afternoon.
But in the second half, Vermont changed their game plan. They had the shallow entries inside 50 in the first half, and then their midfielders started to get their hands on the ball at clearance in the second half and work their way back into the game. And they just fell short. So it's not doom and gloom for whoever lost the game, because we've seen it time and time again. If you lose the second semi-final, you can come back through the preliminary final and you can win the premiership. So the premiership, yes, Roval are probably now the favourites to take it out because they are the first team in the grand final and they have that right to be the favourites. But in saying that, they've still got to be able to replicate it in 2 weeks' time. And they were great yesterday. Now the question marks. Lockie Wine yesterday kicked 6 goals. Fantastic performance by by him. He was outstanding. Evans in the ruck. They shared those duties. Shellmakers has been a big blow going down since that Vermont game mid-part of the season. And there's talk that he might be coming back for the grand final. And they've got to weigh that up, whether that is a risk or whether they actually think he is fit enough to come back and play. So there's a lot of selection, a lot of water to go under the bridge up until then. But for Vermont, they'll go back and they've got to win a game of footy next week. So I don't think they'll be worrying about it too much. They've still got 7 days to turn it around, and this season's still well and truly alive if they're good enough. And we know that in the past they have been, and I don't think they would have walked away too concerned. If they got defeated by 10 goals yesterday, you'd scratch your head and go, gee, Vermont's got a lot of work to do. But 1 point, I think that this shows how even these two sides are. When you consider that Roval beat the bottom side before the finals by 199 points and then have beat the team that's finished as minor premiers by 1 point in a second semi-final. So it just shows you the difference of what's happened over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're going to just slightly move tack a little bit, gentlemen, and we're going to now welcome the coach of the Kilsyth Football Club, Simon Caldwell, to the broadcast this afternoon. Good afternoon, Simon. How are you?
Good afternoon, gents. Good to see you.
Simon, it's been one of those years where Kilsyth have improved year on year from last year. I think one of the things that I've noticed this year is and I said this yesterday, that it seems like some of your youngsters and just adding a little bit more experience to the existing squad, it has produced a very nice meld of a football team this season.
Yeah, we have, mate. I think, was sort of a plan when I came back to the club in 2020 was to play a lot of the under-19 kids that they had in 2019 and try and build some games into the Killy kids. I think there's 11 or 12 junior ones out there today. But, obviously, you need 22 blokes that can go out and do it. So I think, last year we got a couple of blokes in from higher divisions that sort of made a big difference to us last year. And then obviously we call it a bit of a sprinkle on top this year with the 3 or 4 blokes that we've been able to add this year, but from a higher level and made a massive difference for us.
Interesting enough, Simon, you've played 7 times in the last 2 years, and you've both won 3.5 times.
There you go.
So there really isn't that much in it. One of the things that I've seen this year is the fact that your last quarters, you've won 15 quarters in the last quarter this year, and that suggests to me that you'd be really happy going into a grand final with your fitness levels.
Yeah, of course. I think that's something we pride ourselves on this year. The guys have done a hell of a lot of work, especially the younger ones that we've had through the last 3 or 4 years. We start pre-season mid-November, but these guys have asked to do extra work, and we've been down doing extra work in October, for 4 or 5 weeks before pre-season. So, there's probably 8 to 10 of them that are playing the team today that want to do that stuff. And Sean Curry come back to the club last year, rocked up and said, "Can I play?" And we said, "Yeah, sure. You're a pretty big fella. You'll be all right." And then this year he took on our fitness stuff, which he's done an amazing job with. So most of the credit goes to him. We haven't had a soft tissue injury all year, which I don't think I've ever been involved in footy without a hammy or a calf to one person for the whole year. So whatever he's doing, he's done a bloody good job.
Now, one name that sticks out in this lineup, Ryan McNay, and I saw on the Kilsyth socials last night they posted the last time they won a premiership, and I was listening in and I noticed that his father was playing in the last premiership. So how much would it mean for him to be playing in a grand final for Kilsyth firstly, and if he was to get up to be able to be a part of a premiership like his dad?
Yeah, well, I think that's a good story from the club. His dad was actually the captain, so he was captain of the 95 flag. And that's been, ongoing for the last few years, trying to get him to come and play there. He lives up in Healesville, so, Lillardale was obviously his option as a junior. He finally succumbed to the pressure, and he's loved his time. He's a really good fella, and, it's not just him. There's, the Lamb boys playing today. Number 2, Ivanovic, his dad was could have even been best on in the 95. He's really
there's a lot of
involved.
names there.
So, that's for me the good part of the story, the history of the club, that, we've got some of these guys playing that their dads played.
Yeah, there was a similar history at Donvale yesterday, the same thing.
Yeah, the Jordovics. That's for me is exciting, as a club.
It is.
As I said, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser today. We're proud of the group, what they've done so far, but we're in a really good spot going forward, whatever happens today.
Good luck, Simon, for today's game. It promises to be an absolute ripper. Looking forward to watching it. I mean, you talk about what happened back when your two teams played in the second semi, and they got the jump, and you had to really grind your way back. And we've talked about the physical and hard bodies throughout the course of the year, in the way that you've been able to structure up with your contested ball and being able to really use of the corridor, and basically being able to use that ball effectively, transition, and then get it into your key forwards. Is that something once again that you're going to really impress upon today to really drive the result home? Because Surrey Park do like to be on the outside. They like to run, like to be creative, and they like to play on at all costs, because that's the sort of open freestyle of footy they like to play.
Yeah, look, I think watching the second semi, I think Sean in the ruck was really dominant. So definitely give our on-ballers first use. So that's definitely an area we think we can win that area. But look, I've had a few people say that it's going to be a good day. Surrey run it really well. We've got to try and shut that out, obviously, make it a bit more one-on football as much as we can. But we're pretty good on the outside too. A lot of people say the big bodies and that, but I'd reckon you'll see today, some of those, Mac 8, number 23, Ryan McNay, Jane Wycard, they're bloody quick on the outside too. We've probably had our biggest win this year against Scoresby on their deck, and on a good deck, dry day, and won by 100 points. So we're pretty happy with it being a good deck too.
For yourself as a coach, what sort of things have you been sort of thinking about throughout the course of the last few weeks? Do you theme it up today because there's so much of a build-up around the club, regarding the premiership drought, or do you just address the players and give the key basic fundamental messages? Because you can give all the big speeches in the world, but at the end of the day, the more basic that you keep it, probably the more enjoyable it'll be for everyone. Because if they don't know the game plan now, we talk about it so often on this broadcast to a lot of the coaches. If you don't know where you need to be now, and you don't know the game situation and the game style, you're never going to know it on grand final day.
Yeah, well, I think from a coach point of view, I think it'll be the 7th time I see them live today. I've watched Long Weekend and the final last week, and 5th time we play them. So I think the guys have got down pat what we need to do. We haven't really themed it up. Probably the biggest theme, and I've said it to the guys all year, and it's been something, wherever I've been coaching. Probably as a young bloke, I probably thought you had to inspire and give all these great speeches. But, like I said earlier, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. It'll be hot for 5 or 10 minutes. It's another game of footy. And the most of all, have fun. It's not a job. We come here because we want to do it because it's fun.
Exactly.
We come to training, it's fun. We play in days like this because it's fun. Just try and enjoy it. There's no big theme that we have to win, and all this. We talk about history stuff, but at the end of the day, mate, it's a game of footy. So.
And how crucial will the likes of those Division 1 players coming across? You look at you look at Ryan McNay, Jaden Wycard, they would have had recent experience playing out here as well. How crucial have they been in that second semi-final and today as well?
Oh, look, I think they stepped up. You think last week their second half was really, really big. They'll usually try and run a tag with one of them at least, maybe both. So, they get pressure all day, but they're both really fit blokes. They'll keep running, and the second half, hopefully they can run them off their legs. And, I think go back to, look, they're great on the game day, but what they've been able to bring in at training, and the communication at training, and the structure side of it, and the drive to push people harder throughout the year, that's probably more where we've been happy as a club, what they've been able to offer us. And just really good people, always there, always at functions, all that sort of stuff. To me, come back to the fun side of it, that's just as important as the way they play footy.
And there's been the ups and downs too for Kilsyth, so bringing the club back together, things just start to seem to be heading in the right direction from the off-field perspective as well, because you want to get your facilities, all that structure off-field right as well. So once you get that all in place, it makes the things a lot more easier and smooth sailing.
Yeah, of course, and we've got all that going on with the new rooms. So women's winning the flag last week. Junior program's really good. We've got a team in each grade. So I think off-field, we're I've said to these guys throughout the week, we're there. We're ready to go up to the next level, we feel.
Simon, for me, finally, I've watched a few of the Kilsyth games on the tape, and I'm really liking the synergy between Machete and Wycard. Machete on the inside, Weikart on the outside. That combination is a deadly force this season.
Yeah, Jacob Machete, he's gone through on ball, plays a bit off half-back. He's still eligible for under-19s next season.
Yeah, he's sensational.
So he could have been in the 17.5s this year, and he played our final last year as a 16-year-old, and had a few clubs ring him in the off-season, but he's just, his girlfriend plays in the women's side. He loves the club. For such a young guy, he's a bit of a leader already. He tracks people.
He probably looks like he could be the actual future captain of the football club.
A lot of people have said that, the way he goes about it. He's a leader. I think last year I got a feeling he might have won the one of the President's Awards or something like that. Just everything he does around the club. Whether it's helping out, picking up rubbish at the end of the games, he brings everyone together. And he's on top of that, he's a terrific player.
And exactly right. Well, Simon, look, good luck for this afternoon. Look, it's been a long time coming for the for the Kilsyth Football Club to even play in a final series and let alone win a grand final. But hopefully by 4:45 this afternoon, there's a possibility that Kilsyth could be holding the cup aloft. But for now, thank you very much for giving up your time, and good luck to you and your playing group this afternoon.
Let's hope so. Thank you.
There you have it. Kilsyth coach Simon Caldwell, always very generous, like all coaches, with their time. And it's really good to speak to the local coaches, and I think that's
absolutely,
that's a really good, and for me that is a really good story about hearing someone like a young bloke like Machete, doing all those good things. Other coach and combatant is the coach and playing coach, I should say, of the Surrey Park Football Club, James Kenworthy. Good afternoon, James, and welcome to the broadcast.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me, boys.
James, I was just listening last Sunday when you were on air, and you're talking about your guys. They've had to ride quite a few flat spots throughout the year, especially with injury and form. And it's actually you sort of felt it was a testament for your group to get as far as they did, but once again, they proved again last Sunday when the chips were down and when Scoresby were challenged that you found a way once again to win a game of football.
Yeah, absolutely. With last week, there was, I think, 5 or 6 inclusions to the side. So just having that bit of experience come back in really helped us in that second half.
I noticed on your playing list, and it says that you've listed 50 players that have registered on the senior list, but I would think that it would probably be roughly around the 40-odd mark throughout the year to cover the injuries. Would that be right?
I know we played 50
players.
Yeah.
That's once again that's 2 sides, isn't it, coming through? And I would assume that these are a lot of the 19s and some of the younger reserve guys that you've been given a chance to have a look at and see where their future is moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really fortunate that the 19 side got up this year. So I think there was about 8 or 9 of the 19s kids that played seniors, and then a lot of our development side guys got a chance as well, just from a lot of guys went to Europe and injuries, of course.
I think one of the key KPIs that I've looked at in Surrey's case this year, your second quarters have been exceptional. You've won 15 of those out of the 18 games that you've played so far this year. I guess in Surrey's case, it's always important to really put the opposition under pressure, especially leading into a half-time break.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone sort of goes out there and want to start really well. So Q1 is obviously a pretty big focus for any side. I think a couple of times this year we've sort of struggled with our start. So get to the quarter-time huddle, rev them up a bit, and then, second quarter we come out obviously a lot stronger.
Now, James, I could go anywhere with this, but I want to focus.
The mascot.
I've got the pom-poms on if anyone's just listening in. But I want to focus on Kane Hendon, who's come back to the club midway through the season. Just how good has it been to have someone that's come back in recent weeks and has that Premier Division experience now, as well as a bit of experience up in Queensland?
He's been absolutely unreal. Really, really valuable, especially out on the bench. Even just on trainings. As soon as we announced he was joining us, it was, I think, a Monday or Sunday night, and then that following Tuesday, Thursday, he was there half an hour early and just getting around everyone. So just to have him there really settles the side, and he's got so much knowledge of the game, which really helps.
And Michael Paolini as well, coming off the interchange bench and playing on the field. Was that a bit of a surprise to see him have a bit of an impact as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of start of the year, we weren't really planning on that at all. Just with how we were going for numbers sort of midway through the year, we lost a lot of our tall timber, so Mick said, I'll chuck the boots back on. He started in the dev side. I think he played 2 games and then didn't really have anyone else for the senior side, so he got a shot and played pretty well in his first week. He's just stayed in ever since.
Yeah, James, good luck for the campaign this afternoon. It's going to be a big one for your club, and you came in as coach in very difficult circumstances. Not easy last season when the club makes a decision to part ways with one coach and then put you in as the coach. You go on, you play in a grand final. It didn't go your way, and then you find yourself here once again. But it's in your own, it's in your own tendency, really, your tenure, when you've basically set the foundation for the 2023 side. How have you found it, and what have you probably taken away and learnt, more importantly, since you were here last time around 12 months ago?
I think first and foremost, it's a much different feel this year. Obviously, last year was everyone's first sort of grand final week. There was a lot of nervous guys, but then this year is totally different. Everyone's sort of locked in the zone of. Obviously, that heartbreak last year really drives everyone, and we want to rectify that today.
Did you do something different? What did you do throughout the week? Just step us through the week in terms of, did you have one big session? Did you have a team dinner on Thursday night? Did you have someone come and speak to the players? Have you just addressed the players yourself, or is there going to be one key message, a theme that you might run with today that is trying to drive that player group to that ultimate success at 4:45 this afternoon? Is there one little thing that you'll probably try to hang on to and take with you throughout the course of the game here this afternoon?
I think a really big key for us is just being calm in the moment. If you look back at all our games, we've had a lot of possession and we just sort of turn the ball over. So in our ball movement, when we're being calm and precise with our ball movement, we can execute really well and score. So just sort of not giving that ball up quite easily will go a long way into winning the game. Yeah,
so in terms of the training this week, what did you do? Did you do anything? Was it a lighter week on the track? Did you have the team dinner? Did you have someone come and speak? Or did you just try and business as usual and let people just sort of soak up the week a little bit?
Usual Thursday night, so Pete put on a nice mixed grill for us on the Thursday night, which Josh has probably already alluded to.
Oh, yeah.
Well cooked by Craig Naidu, so that was really good Thursday night. Because we played the Sunday as well, everyone was pretty sore on that Tuesday night, so that was quite a light session. But we also had a captain's run yesterday just to find a little bit of touch and get the bodies right.
Finally, James, for me, you seem like to me you're very level-headed, and I can understand what you're talking about, bringing that certain calmness and keeping everything at a level. It seems like to me that you are really relishing. I've watched you as a player, and I think you've actually grown not only from your playing days, but even though you're still playing, but I think strategically you've matured and have been able now to impart that knowledge onto this group. How are you feeling about being a coach? And it seems like that you really are embracing and enjoying it.
Well, such a young group. Obviously, they haven't really had the experience of playing in sort of big games and stuff, so just trying to impart all of that knowledge. I know from personal experience when I was a lot younger, playing under frustration was never good for my own performance. So seeing these sort of guys be frustrated when they're out there is just me trying to teach them not to do that and go in a real positive mindset, which will obviously bring out the best in themselves. So just trying to be as positive as I can.
Well, James, look, it's a big day. It's a big day being a player, but it's also a big day being a player coach. And for you to give up your time and coming up and having a chat with us this afternoon on such a big day for you and the football club, we really appreciate it a lot. So from us this afternoon, and hopefully at 4:45, all the hard work that Surrey Park have put in, not only this year but in last year as well. Hopefully you were rewarded and maybe holding that club, that big cup aloft at 5 o'clock.
Cheers, guys. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we put on a show for you guys.
There we have.
Battles.
Thank you very much to James Kenworthy there, the playing coach of the Surrey Park Football Club. We're going to take a break here on EFNL Game Day Division 4 Grand Final, and when we come back we'll talk a little bit more about what happened yesterday and start going through the big game today. It's Kilsyth versus Surrey Park, and it's coming up live on Radio Eastern 98.1.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Tobin Brothers Funerals wear their heart on their sleeve. Their clear and easy to use website and Memory Maker app make it easy for families to make an informed decision. Here's James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals.
We pride ourselves on being the most transparent funeral company. All pricing on goods and services are available on our website. It's all there for you to see and make very informed decisions when planning a loved one's funeral.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's EFNL Grand Final Day, Division 4, Kilsyth versus Surrey Park here at East Ringwood Reserve this afternoon. And as it happened yesterday, it's a humdinger of a game in the Reserve Grand Final here. We are 19 minutes into the last quarter, and Surrey Park 7-6-48, a trailing Scoresby 8-2-50. So this game is on a knife edge, and you never know. It could go there.
It's got extra time written all over it.
It's
a killer diller, as KB would say, but it has got extra time written all over it. Could be even a double extra time. Remember that one we saw last year, that ridiculous one out at Ringwood with Warrandyte and the Waverley Blues in the reserve.
Let's gents, we've got still a little bit to go through. Let's quickly touch on the big clash yesterday, which saw Mitcham move into a grand final. Mitcham convincingly winners yesterday against a Montrose side who I reckon Spider looked like they ran out of steam.
They did, and look, I saw that second half, and simply when you don't kick a goal in the second half, you just simply don't deserve to win, and that was how it played out. Mitcham were just more determined to win that game. They at clearance, they were totally dominant. Their midfield led by guys like Sherry. Tom Lovell was just exceptional in the air. He was everywhere on the ground. Just their ball use was far superior to what Montrose's was. Their defensive work rate around the ground, and then their ball transition to be able to go forward and then to score when they went inside 50 was the reason ultimately why they won the game. And it was just some undisciplined acts, particularly in the last quarter, that brought it all undone for Montrose, who really just had to scrape to the bottom of the barrel. They were desperate, but in the end it was an effort by Mitcham was just really impressive, and I thought it was really well coached yesterday. That was a coaching win for the ages by Neil Winterton, and I stood actually right behind the coach's box of Neil for that second half, and the way that he instructed his players, his messaging to the players was so simple, but it was so precise to every detail, and he didn't get caught up. He just kept calm. When the heat was on in the battle, he just focused on what he had to do, and that was, continue to move the magnets around, but continue to drive his players and to enforce what he wanted to get the result, and that's what they did. They were first to the ball and they disposed of the ball and they got the score on the board, and that's ultimately what they did. Yep. They got the win, and it just resulted in that 10 goals for. Went inside 50 a number of times, and just some careless footy by Montrose at times, and a lack of effectiveness with ball in hand was bringing their undoing.
Yeah, Mitcham 10-4, 64. Defeat at Montrose 5-8, 38.
And some easy scoring shots there too, Brush.
Yeah.
5-8. Well, those 4 shots, had they kicked a couple of those in that last quarter, we could have been a lot closer. But in the end, Mitcham thoroughly deserved to advance to the grand final, and a crack at South Belgrave next weekend.
And holding Montrose, Josh, to 3 points in the second half. That's an achievement itself, and as I said, it won't be the last time that we'll see a Neil Winterton masterclass in coaching, because he's one of the very best in this competition and has been for a long time.
He definitely has been one of the best, and that was just absolutely brilliant to get his side over the line against a Montrose outfit that had defeated them 6 times in a row dating back to 2021. It's a remarkable effort from Mitcham and from Neil Winterton just to be able to shut out a usually potent Montrose attack. And I think they may have used all their field tickets in that second semi-final against South Belgrave, because that was a really good effort. Yes, obviously South Belgrave got over the top, and wouldn't have been surprised if they got over the top, as Scoresby have won the Division 4 Reserves Premiership. Surrey Park were going for the three-peat. Scoresby end those hopes 8-2-50 to 7-6-48. So a magnificent achievement for the Magpies.
Yep. Great fill-up for it. It's always good on grand final day to see other clubs.
And it's a great reward. It's a great reward, Brush, because Scoresby, they came down to Division 4. It's been hard times for them, and last week they went out of the finals in the seniors, but you feel like you get some reward back with the reserves winning the premiership, and you can hold on to something going into 2024. And these young players and some of the older players, they might not get the opportunity to play in a senior premiership, but the younger players just shows you that there are some upward trends happening at Scoresby in the future.
Right, yesterday Jubilee Park was set up for Donvale.
Yeah.
Donvale have been the number 1 team all year in this division, and they've duly saluted. They were clinical yesterday. They just wore Ferntree Gully down, and Ferntree Gully were gallant, Josh, but in the end, the bigger bodies, the bigger numbers around the contest, and Donvale ran a 60-point winners, 16-8, 104 to Ferntree Gully, 6-8, 44, but take nothing away from the Eagles. Look, they tried really hard. Iso, I thought, for Ferntree Gully was outstanding in his last game and ran his heart out, but he was just overwhelmed by numbers, the Donvale numbers around the contest, 3-4, a potent forward line, and really the Gully in the end, they just couldn't get the ball into their forward 50, and they lacked a key forward to help them out.
No, that was the big difference, because they didn't have a key forward. You had Jack Flannery. He isn't the tallest. Braden Wright was thrown down there. He still looked pretty threatening down in that forward line, but wasn't
best on the ground. Giles was terrific, kicking some goals and being dominant early in the game. Brewer was also terrific through the midfield. Matt Day, also for Donvale too. So they had players in every season that contributed to that premiership, and it was well coached by Kevin Collins, and they thoroughly deserved their premiership. They were clearly the best side in Division 3 all season, and that was the difference in the division all year. And Donvale put a significant gap in it, and you got to take your hat off to them and salute them because they were simply brilliant yesterday.
They were playing like a Division 2 club. They've played like a Division 2 club for pretty much the second half of the year, and obviously there's no promotion, but they can definitely go back to back there.
Well, that's the big challenge, and we all talk about that, but you've got to go back and you've got to do it again, and sometimes things might not work out, the circumstances might not happen, players decide to go away, players retire. There might be player movement as well. So you've still got to go back and do the work again. The circumstances are all different. But if they can keep the nucleus of that core group together, there's no reason why they can't be around the same time this time next year.
Right, and finally, and a good double leg too for the Donvale Reserves. Also won yesterday, 8-10 to 8-8. So that's a great year for the club with seniors and reserves winning a grand final. That is a testament to the fitness levels. I think.
It shows the depth, Brash.
Yeah.
I mean, what it shows is that you've got players in all aspects of your club. It shows that you've got depth, and they're all players that can play at both levels.
Yep.
And then you've got your other players that might not be quite capable enough to play at seniors, but are still good quality reserve grade footballers. And you've got the players coming through your development system as well. So good things happening at Donvale for the future, without a question.
And their 19s as well finished on top of the table.
We just said that, but that's that. They've got things happening, and they're going to be a side to watch over the next couple of years. And they're definitely a chance to, over the next couple of years, to certainly, strive for promotion once again.
Let's quickly touch on today's games at Walker Park this afternoon. It's preliminary final day in Division 2. It's Templestowe taking on a Heathmont side that is running themselves beautifully into form, heading into what possibly for them could be a grand final. Can Heathmont upset the apple cart and put an end to Templestowe's season today, Spider?
They can, absolutely. If they play with the same intensity levels that they played last week with against the Waverley Blues in that first quarter, well, that was powerful. That was such an impressive performance to put that game style in, and similar to what Templestowe had done the previous week against the Waverley Blues. They were simply very impressive. So I think Heathmont can take it up to Templestowe. However, I do believe the bigger bodies, the contested ball game is very important in this game, and I think that's where the game will be ultimately won. I actually think that Templestowe will win the game, Brash.
Right.
I just have a bit of a feeling that defensively they might be able to close down that Heathmont forward. A few more options. Mitchner holds the key to this game. If he can get on top of Mullinger McHugh, I think that holds a great prospect of a great game. So I think if Lindback can get a little bit of support from his other players up forward, then they certainly can kick a winning score and progress to a grand final. But I think this has the chance of a really close game.
I think this will be a really close game, but I'm going the other way. I'm going Heathmont. I just think they've built up some really, really strong form in the last couple of weeks, and we forget they defeated Templestowe in round 18. Obviously, that didn't mean too much in the end, but still they kept them to just 19 points. Obviously, they only kicked the 7 goals, but I just think they have that mental edge. They've got momentum behind them, and they are starting to peak at the right time. It's the perfect time if you're a Jets fan for their side to be peaking, because at their best, they were the second best side in the first half of the season. They were taken right up to Baronia. Obviously, that Templestowe game probably came back to haunt them, but
Bat Sarnas out is a big blow for Templestowe, but I think the big bodies might be able to get them over the line. But it's going to be an interesting clash to see if they can outrun the Templestowe team. But I think this is going to be an arm wrestle right to the very end, and I think Templestowe might just get over the line. What do you think, Brash?
Yeah, look, I last night I was thinking Templestowe, and then I kept coming back to what I saw against Baronia. I didn't like what I saw last week. I just liked what I saw against. I like what Heathmont have been working towards, and I just think that they're just they're on the rise at the moment. I don't think they'll win by the amount of margin that they won last week, but I think it'll be a bruising affair. I think it'll only be 2 goals in it. I reckon Heathmont will win by about 2 goals, but no more, no less. Finally, Premier Division, Jubilee Park again this afternoon. It's a knockout final. It's Baldwin taking on Doncaster East, and a lot of the pundits would be thinking that after watching Baldwin last week that this could be a lay-down misère game for them against Doncaster East. However, I'm not too sure about that. I've seen some signs of Doncaster East in recent weeks that they're starting to work their way back into form. I don't know whether they're going to have to be at their very best today, Josh. Can they break the Baldwin juggernaut?
I think they can. They defeated them in a final last year in an elimination final at Central Reserve, and they also defeated them earlier in the year. But obviously we were out there for that game at Baldwin Visy Park, and the Baldwin were just able to get off to that fast start. The Doncaster East got back into the contest. So if they can do that for 4 quarters, not let Baldwin get off to that fast start, which happened last week against Blackburn, then I give them every chance. But you can't go past Baldwin. All their players, they'll be fit, they'll be raring to go. I think it was brilliant of Brendan Sanderson to rest some of them heading into finals, just in case they go on a deep run into the grand final, because they're definitely capable of doing so.
Spider, the only criticism that I could have possibly of Baldwin last week is when they went a little bit defensive in the second quarter, they become a little bit Charlie Haley conscious and moved away from the structure that they had going for them that set them in good stead in the first quarter. Do they have to worry about not getting Haley conscious again this afternoon?
Yeah, very, very important. Good observation, Brash. Yeah. So I think from their point of view, they've got to be really focused on just trying to get that ball in, nice and deep into that forward line. If they've got Lyle and Walker going for those balls, they could cause a little bit of chaos with that Doncaster East defence. And really put them under some pressure. So that's going to be vital, who can win the ball at the source and if you can get the re-entry. So I think that's going to play a really big part in the game. The defensive side for Baldwin is really important, led by Pendlebury. He's been in excellent form. And then through the midfield, as we said last week, we know what sort of dominance they had. Baldwin against Blackburn, guys like Bowen Smith, Alex Urban was terrific, Sean Cross as well. And then when you look at it from the Doncaster East point of view, they were very good against East Ringwood last week and looked in no threat right throughout the contest. They dominated the midfield battle. Guys, like Phelan played really well. And Luca was brilliant.
And that's the point I'm going to lead to now. I think that Tynan and Phelan have got to get a lot more involved in this midfield battle this week.
Dooman not playing for me is a big out.
Yeah.
And, if he was playing, I would be a little bit more a chance to sway my tip. But I just think he gives them something a little bit different. But for me, Tom Bell has to step up in this game. If he can get hold of this game, Doncaster East can definitely challenge and win this game.
So there'll be a good battle between him and Pendlebury, I think.
It will be. It will be a massive battle. The winner of that battle will ultimately win the game. So I think that Baldwin will win the game, and it'll be a very close one. Doncaster East have had a bit of inconsistency throughout the season. Just not sure they're going to be able to kick a big enough winning score against Baldwin, who, when they hit the scoreboard, they can hit it really deep, especially on conditions like today. But I think it's the sort of day where we could have a similar to yesterday, like the Vermont Roval game, could have a shootout, and it could be very close. I mean, Baldwin will like their chances, and Doncaster East, look, they'll be hoping that they can bring the confidence after that win against East Ringwood into the game. If they get off to a good start and take their chances early, and Baldwin, if they're a little bit wasteful, then that could be a big problem for them. But I think if Baldwin get their A-game going, then they're going to be very hard to beat, and they will certainly challenge if they do progress. But I think Doncaster East will certainly be very competitive. I'm tipping Baldwin, but I think Doncaster East will be with them every step of the way.
Baldwin by 2 goals for me.
Yeah.
Well, Matt and Josh, thanks very much for joining me on pre-match this afternoon for Division 4 Grand Final Day. Look forward to hearing you both again throughout the final series.
Looking forward to it. I'm going to tip Kilsyth in this game. I'm going for Ryan McNay as the best player on the ground. I think they'll just get over the line. Good luck, Scoop. We know that Surrey Park will be there right at the end. I think this is going to be a classic. And if Surrey Park get up, it'll be thoroughly deserved because they're going for their first EFNL premiership since the merger since East Camberwell and Surrey Hills joined forces, and Kilsyth trying to break a 28-year premiership drought. So we're going to see history in the making and created at 4:45 this afternoon. Either way.
And with that being said, we're going to take a break, and the call team is going to assemble this afternoon for the big match between Kilsyth and Surrey Park. It's coming up live on Radio Eastern 98.1, streaming via Facebook and YouTube. And to everyone listening around the world and listening to us locally in Victoria, get on the dial, get on the screen and watch an enjoyable game of football. We'll be back right after this.
Today at Eastland, coffee with the ex. She needs jeans she can move in because she's definitely moved on. Jeans that get a second look but don't give any second chances. Jeans that say, why yes, I have spent the last 8 months in a post-breakup juice cleansing, kickboxing, personal training frenzy. And it looks as though she's just found the perfect pair. Bravo, Lucy. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Tobin Brothers Funerals wear their heart on their sleeve. Their clear and easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app make it easy for families to make an informed decision. Here's James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals.
There's no mystery about our pricing. It is clearly displayed on our website and our app. We have staff standing by 24 hours a day, every day of the year to assist you in your absolute time of need.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There are only 3 things that should be flushed down your toilet: pee, poo and paper. Some wet wipes and antibacterial wipes say that you can flush them, but you can't. They clog up the toilet and pipes, causing expensive blockages. Save yourself a truckload of trouble. Put your wet wipes in the bin. To learn more, head to the Yarra Valley Water website, yvw.com.au/wet-wipes.
Hi, Dylan Dow from the Baroni Football Netball Club here. When I need to grab a quick coffee or a bite to eat, I'm popping into Eastland. Eastland's more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been a major partner of the EFNL since 2018. Cheers, Eastland.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome to the EFNL Division 4 Senior Grand Final Day, live here from East Ringwood Reserve. We've got Kilsyth up against Surrey Park, the winner to not only win the Division 4 premiership, but to gain promotion into Division 3 for season 2024. It is a picture-perfect day out here at East Ringwood Reserve. We should be in for an absolute cracker between the two top sides of Division 4 all year long. My name is Josh Wood, and alongside me in the call chair, it's a very good afternoon to Gavin Casey. An absolute pleasure to be calling alongside you on this day again, mate.
Well, thanks for having me with commentating you. It's going to be an exciting day, I know, for you, but for all EFNL fans, because I think Kilsyth, with their history, there's a lot of interest in whether they can get their first premiership in 28 years. There's a new couple of generations since then, and they probably in recent times haven't had a winning culture until Simon Caldwell has come back. And Surrey Park, we all know their trials and tribulations, setting a record, 67 consecutive losses. That's a record, unfortunate to have. But if they can get a premiership in 2023, I think in terms of maturity of a football club, this is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, there's definitely that element to this game, isn't there? Both sides, they've had their really hard times and have both sort of wrestled their way back to the top of the table. It's a really hard one to tip, this game. We obviously had the game yesterday with Don Vale, being the sort of outright favourites, and this one comes in as really evenly matched. They've both beaten each other throughout the season, and I think it could go either way, Josh.
I think it could, and a good afternoon to you as well, Dylan. You were calling the reserves game, which saw Surrey Park unfortunately go down.
Is that a bad omen?
Who knows? Moving on. They were going for the three-peat, but they were unfortunately not able to do so. Scoresby 8-2-50 to Surrey Park 7-6-48. And earlier on, we had the under-19s grand final. Forest Hill 7-13-55 defeating Chirnside Park 3-9-27. So great for the Zebras to get a premiership as the Surrey team just about to come on to East Ringwood Reserve Kilsyth, and the umpires are already onto the ground. But it is a very interesting game. It is genuinely a 50-50. You could argue unlike yesterday just because Donville, they were that step ahead. They've been dominant all year long. You look at how close most of the meetings have been between Kilsyth and Surrey throughout this year, throughout last year as well. They're really evenly matched still.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the area of this game where Kilsyth, we've talked about it in the podcast during the week and on different platforms, but just that the bigger bodies of Kilsyth, I think, are going to be a real problem around the footy for Surrey Park. And if Surrey Park are able to wrestle a bit of control, get the ball onto those outside runners, I think that's where they can win the game. But we also have to acknowledge that forward line of Kilsyth. I just think it's a little bit more multi-dimensional than the Surrey Park forward line. You look with Surrey, and if it's not Can, if it's maybe Paolini's an option up there for them, but if it's not one of those two, who is going to give them the goals? You look at Kilsyth's list of goal kickers, and they just seem to have a lot more avenues to goal.
Yeah, they've got the likes of Ryan Goodinson up there, who I was watching throughout the week in that second semi-final, who was playing a bit higher up. I know they like him playing a bit higher up, whereas usually he's been a bit more potent up forward. He doesn't kick too many goals against Surrey. I think he's only kicked one in each game they've met so far this year, or possibly a 2-goal haul throughout the season. But you still got the likes of Daniel Ivanovic, who's kicked 10 goals in his 6 senior games. Ryan McNay and Jaden Weikart through midfield. That's going to be an exciting duo. Sean Curry can get on the score sheet. He's been dominant in their 2 meetings, in most of the meetings against Surrey Park.
Yeah, that's the thing, that they've been able to shut Goodinson down, but then in those games, other guys have popped up and kicked there too. They've had guys like O'Neill and Lamb and those sort of players pop up and kick goals as well.
And I think in the last week's preliminary final, Surrey Park lost in the middle around the stoppages, but they're still able to set up a roadblock at half-back with Peters, and their transition and their speed to run is what could keep them into the contest and therefore set them alight for the grand final.
As they come onto the ground, led by their coach and captain, Matt Garvin. And it's a pretty nice tune. I know all Tiger supporters would enjoy this tune as well. As they come out onto the ground to a big roar from the reserve side, who unfortunately, obviously, they go through a bit of heartbreak, but still nevertheless a terrific season. All 4 senior sides for Surrey Park in grand finals. Their women's played last week against East Ringwood. We all know how well that went for them. With the 19s are playing next week, probably going as favourites. The reserves are playing here, and obviously the seniors as well. It's they have started to build a winning culture out there at Surrey Park, and I don't know if there's any other clubs that have 4 different senior sides playing in grand finals, so it's not a bad achievement.
And the fact that the seniors, there's obviously a deliberate plan to play 50 players is not crisis. And normally that says people have left, people aren't good enough to turn up to training and play. But when you play 50 just because you can, and the club seems a little bit stronger than a lot of others, and it comes out on the field match day, because even their reserves, some of the skill and liveliness, I thought, gee, this guy could have been in the senior game.
Well, one thing that I noticed about watching that reserves game was how Surrey Park moved the footy. It looked like a really similar way to how the seniors moved the footy. And you just see that how they've got across both of the seniors and the reserves teams. They're playing that same brand of footy, and that makes it really easy when you want to bring someone up from the reserves that they can just slot in and they know what they're going to do.
Yeah, and just touching on the reserves, like you look at the reserves lineup for this season. I think Ollie Anderson was playing in last year's grand final. Parker Fox as well. Harry Lackey in the senior grand final as well. Harry Lackiana, Mitch Molnar was also there, and there's plenty of others that have that senior experience.
And Josh, will there be a second up down for the guys that came in late into this season, the senior guys that have sort of come in and taken away, come into the finals team? Do you think there could be a letdown that they haven't had a long prep, or do you think it's actually a benefit that the seniority comes in to steady the side?
I think it is a bit of a benefit, just because looking back at that second semi-final, they were on top in that first half as the Kilsyth song gets played. It's a pretty jazzy tune as well to the navy blue theme, but I think having that seniority, because you look at that second semi-final, just looking through the week, it was just that lack of experience. They sort of lost their heads between like a 7 and 17 minute mark of that game, or you could argue for 15 minutes in that third quarter. So having those cool heads is going to be crucial, like Matt Garvin, like James Kempworthy, and obviously George Haynes I think was captain that day, and he's a senior player, but they just have a bit more seniority in the lineup.
Well, considering it's going to just transition because the Kilsyth theme song's playing, we're going to break off soon because we have to go to the official announcements from Ryan Long. Our media manager will host the pre-game preamble, and that will lead into the national anthem, which will all be up and about, because once that ends, we know it's game time.
Absolutely. I was going to throw a quick question at you, Josh. Obviously, with Surrey Park being in the grand final last year, going down, does that add just a little bit of extra pressure on their shoulders today, that knowing that they did go down in the last year's one?
I don't think so. I think you could argue it could, but because Kilsyth have been the better side all year, I feel like there's a bit of pressure on them. They've defeated Surrey Park. I think they've defeated Surrey Park twice. Obviously, Surrey have won the one time and had that one draw at the start of the season. So, there's a bit more pressure, but you could argue there is a bit of pressure. But I feel like they still sort of go in as underdogs. I just think that, I do think there is not as much pressure as it would have been, say, if it was against a Chernside Park, if it was against a Scoresby, if they had gone through to the grand final, as both teams are lining up into position for the pre-game ceremony. As you mentioned, Gav, led by our beloved leader, media manager Ryan Long. He's been a busy man the last couple of weeks.
And former media manager Dyson is the general manager, is corralling everyone at the moment, like a sheepdog.
Looming around. We'll go down to, he's running. I don't think he's ready, Ryan, but he's running around. He's running around. He's doing it all, but we will.
He's
looking for his script, I think. Let's cross to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Eastern Football Netball League, we'd like to welcome you to East Ringwood Reserve for today's Eastland Division 4 Seniors Grand Final. We begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land in which we gather and pay our respects to their elders, past and present. We extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. Congratulations to the two teams competing in today's decider, the Kilsyth Football Club and the Surrey Park Football Club. The officiating umpires to today's match are in field, Nick Palmer, Jesse Haywood, Daniel Chaston. On boundary, Tariku Nakchev, Harrison Green, Zach Disney, Stephanie Vanderslick, and in goal, Cameron Clun, Justin Hedges. I would now ask all to be upstanding with the players and umpires for the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are
May the best team win.
If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. It's always exciting listening to the national anthem before a grand final, and it's made me extra excited, which is pretty dangerous. But we will be joined by Ryan Long shortly. He'll be on special comments. We've got our boundary riders, Jared Beanland and I was about to say Brett Beston. Blake Tennant down there on ground level. We'll cross down to Blakey now. How are conditions on ground level, mate?
Well, first and foremost, boys, I don't know if you guys addressed this, but happy Father's Day to all the dads today. It's been a great day as well today. The ground and the weather is just magnificent. You know, who could have predicted this weekend of forecast, because it's just been terrific for both days. You know, I think the ground's been really well. The creators down here at East Ringwood do a magnificent job. So, great day.
Do we have it? Go on, Jared.
Yeah, g'day guys, and g'day to all the listeners. As Blake said, wonderful day here for footy. There is a bit of a breeze. It's coming across the ground. It's a bit sporadic, so it might affect the way that things play out today. Other than that, gorgeous day for footy, and I think Blake and I, we're going to give our tips. Kilsyth, for me, I reckon they'll do it by about 3 goals.
Yeah, Kilsyth for me. I think Kilsyth has been a very dominant team all year. Probably the best team in the home and away season. So I'm going to go Kilsyth there. Sorry, Josh.
Sorry, that's all good. I don't mind. I'd love to see Kilsyth get up as well.
Who's your tip?
I think everyone knows my tip. But Paul Yukone in the Stats Centre, welcome to you. Who's your tip for today's game?
I'm going to go a bit of an upset, and I'm going to go Surrey Park by 2 goals.
Good man, Paul. Media manager Ryan Long joining us for the first time.
I'm out of breath, and I could hear you throwing me under the bus just trying to get the right sheet for the anthem. But Kilsyth for me. I'm tipping Kilsyth, and I think this will be close, so I'm going to go 8 points. I think this will be one that we won't know who's going to win until the last quarter.
I'm going to go Kilsyth as well. I'm going to say 18 points. I think it's going to be cagey, but I think those bigger bodies around the ball are going to get the job done. Over to you.
I agree with the consensus. Kilsyth by a couple of goals, but this will go time on to the last quarter. I reckon this could be in doubt.
This could be a very interesting contest indeed, as both teams are in position. Surrey Park kicking to the left of your radio dial, or to the Dublin Road end of East Ringwood Reserve.
I'm surprised Blake Tennant didn't mention the wind. His team sheet in the reserves blew away about 15 times.
Gav Casey to get us underway in the Division 4 Grand Final.
2023 Division 4 Grand Final off the back of the square. O'Neill comes flying through. Hand pass flies out by Arthur. Gets it to the running McNay. Long ball to the top of the square. Punch comes in from the defender of Haynes. First score conceded by Surrey Park. So Kilsyth get off the board straight out of the middle of East Ringwood Reserve. And it's game on in Grand Final Division 4.
Surrey Park, they'll definitely have to watch that stoppage work of Kilsyth, an area they can really get on top today.
As Haynes will take the kick in here. Usual kicker inner for Surrey Park. A very dangerous kick to 2 Kilsyth players. Bacon lurking around this. Might get his hands on the ball. He doesn't. Out the back, Kenworthy. Couldn't evade a couple of Kilsyth tacklers. Goodson. It's wrapped up there by Jamie Glare, and we'll get a ball up. Glare part of that reserves premiership last year for Surrey Park. As the ball is tossed up, Curry got front position, tapped it down to Van Veen. His handball was intercepted by Kenworthy, going down the line to Big Mick Paolini. Juggled the mark. Chopping of the arm, says the umpire, and Paolini will take this free kick. Got a couple of one-on-ones inside 50, goes short to his coach in Kenworthy. So the coach-assistant coach duo of Surrey Park combining early on as a couple of leads offered. There's nothing doing for Kenworthy. He's forced to play on, go down the line. Kick was smothered by Henshaw. Play on, says the umpire. Garvin has hands on this. Gets it inside 50. Mundy parked underneath it. Was he shocked out? He wasn't. Kennedy, can he get a handball away? He can't. Pinged. Brilliant pressure, Declan Lamb, and Kilsyth will have the chance to rebound.
Good defence from the Cougars. They're definitely on the game at the moment. A couple of short options, but they might be just manned up, and the kick was misdirected, and the Riley skipper Kenworthy chops it off from half forward. Inside 50, first mark inside 50 to the leading option, Can, and that was nerves from any Surrey Park fan. He just pulled up a little bit like it was a hamstring strain, and he's now crotched over like this is more than a little worry. No, he wouldn't be doing this if he didn't feel something in the leg then on the lead. He stopped real quick on the lead, but he's going to take the kick, and if he kicks it, we know what he's going to do from there. Signal to the crowd, but he's disappointed, but it's a hot spot kick. Loads up. Naidu might run onto it, but he's beaten to it by Moschetti, and Moschetti's just happy to concede the territory and knock it out of bounds. So let's keep our eyes on the Jet in Can, who will kick a lot of goals today if he's on form. So Surrey Park won't see him limping at all. Back of the pack punch comes out. Running onto it was Weikart. He's going to be a champ all day. He's had a great season. Gets the hand pass out of the tackle. The ball goes further out of defence for Kilsyth. Now they're up and running. Hand pass over to the runner O'Neill. Now they're trying to get through the outer wing. Kilsyth, free kick for holding off the ball, and it'll go to Surrey Park just as Kilsyth got another inside 50. And I'm not sure whether it's necessary or not to be so physical off the ball. May have opened up for the Cougars, that, and the umpire said that is a free kick against, and will steady as the ball comes back into the hands of Peters. So Peters is the middle wing. He's got a couple of shorts, but he'll probably just prop this up as far as he can to the arc of 40, and it goes long. Smith comes over the top, can't take the mark. Ground level ball was shucked by the Rovers for Surrey Park, but the kick didn't hit, and it'll be another ball up. Forward 50 for Surrey Park. Yet to score, they trail Kilsyth 1 point, 4 minutes in.
Boundary side to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, just an injury update. Number one, Sam Naidu, he's coming off the ground. He's hobbling at the moment, so we'll get back to you on that one.
So a bit concerning there for Naidu. Surrey Park bench is right in front of us. He does look a bit ginger. A bit of a blow early on potentially for them as the ball right on the 40-metre arc for Surrey Park. Palini got the tap down. It'll be Kilsyth's clearance though through Weikart. Shrugged off a tackler. Goes dangerous into the middle of the ground. Will it be intercepted? It will be by Jack McLaren, who got the spoil in. Peters applied the tackle. We're going to get a ball up right on the synthetic wicket out here at East Ringwood Reserve. We've played 4 minutes. Kilsyth just the one behind. Surrey Park yet to score as the ball is tossed back up. Higgins got the tap from behind. Got another fist in as well. Weikart, handball over the top looking for Browning. Could apply the tackle, couldn't. He gets a kick away right in front of us in the broadcast position, and the ball trickles out of bounds off the hands of Jake Henschel there, and we'll get a boundary throw in as Sean Curry and Ryan Higgins move into position right in front of us in the broadcast position out here at East Ringwood Reserve. Curry got the tap down, looking for Weikart over the top. Garvin might intercept the handball. It's Weikart that still managed to get a handball away. It'll trickle out of bounds for a boundary throw in here on True Centre Wing broadcast side, Dill.
Looks like Mitchell Gale's got the job on Weikart. That's going to be a really crucial matchup in this contest.
What do you think of the tag there? It's stopping Weikart from running away from him, and he's hand passing to no one really so far today.
They did a good job, according to reports, when they met in round 18 as the ball is tossed back up. Higgins got it down to Gale. Was it a legal disposal? It wasn't, and he gets a holding the man free kick right on the Eastland logo. Goes back on his mark. Doesn't have too many options to go to. Instead goes a very dangerous kick, which will be cut off here. Well read by McKinley Ayton. He's got Machete running on the far side, uses him. Terrific season he's had, the young gun. Goes back to this broadcast side. No pressure from the Surrey defender, so he's able to get a kick away. Looking for Jared O'Neill with the strong hands there. Kentworthy tried his best, but couldn't do anything. O'Neill had the option down the line, doesn't use him. Van Veen got hands to it, dropped the mark. Kentworthy able to pick this up on the ground, takes a bounce. Got Jasper Mundy and Michael Paolini, who flew. No mark taken. It's spoiled out of bounds. Well, by Luke Hoekstra, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
Really like James Kenworthy's game so far. Yeah. He's run this ring really nicely, and he's going to be important up half back.
Anyone who can take a bounce running out of a pack is on game, is on form, and we'll go boundary side just quickly.
Yeah, I've seen Spencer Lamb following Kenworthy around, so it's a case of young versus old in that one. And another matchup is Nick Can is being followed about by Luke Hoekstra, which is an interesting place for Hoekstra to be playing.
Curry concedes a free kick to Gale. And Gale will pick up the free kick at half forward for Surrey Park. The ball's close to the boundary line, nearly over out in the full. Conceded by Hoekstra, knocking it out when he couldn't mark it. And Can was not really in the contest, and he's still a bit ginger as he gets up. A little bit proppy. Don't like to see that because he can jump on shoulders and bring down some speckies. Rucks go at it again. Paolini couldn't win the contest. Kilsyth get the clearing kick, bouncing ball close to the wing. It's Higgins knocking it to the advantage of Garvin. Garvin has some space. Now they're sharing it around, comes back to Higgins close to the boundary line. Quick kick, might be a touch finder, and it will be as the arc intercepts the boundary side 40 metres around from goals. Surrey Park's taken one mark inside 50, but their other inside 50s are just petering out for the moment. Paolini will prop himself next to Curry. Curry tries to get front position. The two big boys go at it. Ground level, it's a lot of red and black, but it's going to prop out from all the fumbles. And here's an opportunity. Flows out. Now the kick inside 50, the goal square. Just been chopped off in defence, and Browning did nicely. Holds up for Kilsyth, and they'll get it outside 50. 2v1, the 2 win, and Goodison, long way away from goals, gets the ball out to the outer wing. It allows his teammate in Ivanovic to prop underneath it, and he's good to run onto it. He bundles at about 30 with tap-ons, and eventually the tap-ons lead to out of bounds, but making a little ground. Kilsyth now forward half. Let's go to our stats teller with Paul.
The inside 50s so far are 5-1 the way of Surrey Park.
So ball to be tossed back in a play with Ryan Higgins up against Jared Arthur in this ruck duel. It's Arthur that wins out to Wycard. Bumped off the ball by Duran. Bacon couldn't completely control that one. Gale just taps it forward to Bacon. Try to kick off the ground. Step gets the tap forward, and the ball will trickle out of bounds as we go down boundary side to Jared Beanland.
Another couple of matchups down at Kilsyth's forward line. Goodison, he's being followed around by Haynes, and the deepest forward is Jared O'Neill, and he's been matched up on by, I believe it's... I
think that might
I've lost the name there for a second. It's not Haynes. Come back to me on that one.
Yeah, it's been a guess who at the moment.
As it's a bit of a scrap on centre wing far side. Well, you're going in the stats centre?
Yeah, both sides are really bringing the pressure for this grand final. 7 tackles apiece.
So hot in the kitchen early on, as Trent Cullen would say.
Should we ask Jared, does he have glasses? No.
As McNay got this clearance, he's going to be a danger for Surrey Park. Is Ryan McNay goes inside 50, the fly. There's a block out, and it's going to go to Kilsyth.
So who was that one against?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure who the free kick's being paid to. It might be Jared O'Neill. It is Jared O'Neill.
Yeah, McLaren's complaining about stuff in the background.
As Jared O'Neill has the chance to get the first goal of this Division 4 Grand Final, kick 2 in that second semi-final, and lit it up in that forward line. Took a couple of speckies in that game as well that led to a couple of tough goals. Is this one a reasonably easy one, although I'm not going to say too much else. He comes in now with a long run up, a slow deliberate approach to the left, and a minus score. Kilsyth 2 behind. Surrey Park get to score after 10 minutes of play in this first quarter on the Betty Bank scoreboard. Blake Tennant, boundary side.
Yeah, this is a quick one. Bailey Ray, number 26 for Kilsyth. He's just come in late in on this week's grand final. He'll be playing his first game back in about 6 to 7 weeks. So big game for Kilsyth.
The kick out wasn't well directed, so Kilsyth turn it over, get another inside 50, but it is a disputed ball at the top of the goal square and well defended by George Haynes, wrapping up his opponent.
Sides love that grand final week. One little change that not putting on the team list.
Well, I always feel sad for the guy that misses out, especially if he had a run at the game too. It's always a bit of a shock and disappointment as Surrey Park under a heap of pressure. No penalty for dropping the ball in the tackle. The ball bounces out. Here's an open goal. O'Neill starts the game bowling for Kilsyth. Somehow it got out of the pack, and O'Neill was the only man standing in the goal square, and he drives it to Mount Dandenong Road for Kilsyth's first in the grand final.
I can't believe that. He's wide open, and he was there for about 15 seconds. Not one player went to him. That's really bad marking.
Yeah.
Disappointing to concede a goal on a forward stoppage there as well. As you said, Ryan, poor defending by Surrey.
And that's a good way to settle the nerves if you're Jared O'Neill. He's had a really great season, a great couple of seasons. Paul Yukone in the stats centre. We're getting a new ball as well.
Yeah, Kilsyth are leading the clearances 8-4.
Yeah, that ball went into a Toyota Hilux and it's gone.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have actually gone onto Mount Dandenong Road, and
yeah, that's what I mean.
As we're back in the middle here, 12 minutes gone in this first quarter. Kilsyth with the first. They've done, you think, most of the attacking. They've been looming large in attack as Curry got the tap down. for McKinley Aiden, who got a kick off the ground. Garvin was able to intercept it, wheels onto that left boot of his, goes to Kobe Vitaka, Bacon around this ball as well. Somehow got a handball away to his coach in Kenworthy. Over the top to Garvin, who's on his other wing. His handball was a dangerous one, and Declan Lamb is able to cut it off. Ball trickles out of bounds for Kilsyth. Could thrust forward once again.
He's lucky there, Garvin. That was a dodgy handball.
That could have been a very, very costly mistake as the ball is tossed back in. Arthur up against Higgins, no clear winner. McNay did really well, shrugged off 2 tacklers, got the handball away. Ivanovic did really well also, got the kick inside 50. He's got a man on deep. The spoil from behind from George Haynes. Janane bursting through, and Surrey have open space on this far side wing. Vitaka got Jasper Mundy over the top, uses him. He'll launch inside 50. Paolini on a lead, takes the mark.
That's the way Surrey Park, if they're going to win today, that's exactly what they have to do, that rebound off half back.
Use the wings.
Yep.
That run and gun sort of play.
So Paolini, 17 goals in 7 games since his return to the lineup after retiring a couple of years ago. He'll start his approach from inside the cricket, or around the synthetic cricket wickets. Comes in now, will probably kick from just inside the 40-metre arc with the captain of Kilsyth, Mitch Jacobs, trying to distract him. Drifting to the right and stays there. The first score for Surrey Park, it's a minor one. 1-2-8 Kilsyth. Surrey Park 1 behind, 13 and a half minutes gone as we go down boundary side.
We've got a late jumper change. Mitch Gale, he was wearing number 16. He's now in the number 63.
Thank you very much. So 63 for people at the ground is Gale. He'll get onto the ball plenty of time, so it's good to note that. Kilsyth lead 8-1, 14 minutes gone, first term of this grand final. Knocked down, keeps the ball going forward for Surrey Park from the kick out, but good defence by the Cougars. The hand pass might have been a bit fierce deliberately by Daniel. He's happy to get it out of bounds, and they'll have a ball in and another 50-50 contest. 40 metres around from Surrey Park's goal. And if they can soak up some pressure and then get some overlap run, that's when Surrey Park's at their best. But when it's a stop-start game, the forward 50s are not as effective. The clearing kick is done well by Wall. Wall gets some territory and gets it to the outer wing, or to the wing here on the pavilion side of East Ringwood Reserve, and it'll be a ball in for. So it's in the middle. No advantage either way, territorial. It's 8v1, Kilsyth leading halfway through this first term. Curry does well in the ruck. Hand pass forward out of it by Aiton. Now McNay runs onto it, runs away from the pressure, gets a long ball, running with the flight of it. Well done, Goodison. Well, he just dropped it. That was Ivanovic. Dropped it just as he may have been thinking about a shot at goal, running with the flight. And now the drop ball just creates a lot of congestion around it, 40 metres out from Kilsyth's goal. A lot of tackles flying in, face the boundary line, there'll be a ball up.
A couple of times McNay's just walked through traffic, so they're going to have to certainly put a bit more body work on him.
Ball up, no one saw it coming, so at ground level it's bounced to Lamb. Spencer Lamb gets his kick to it. He's just been chopped off on the goal line, and now it's pressure acts all around this ball, 10 metres away from Kilsyth's goal, but it's been wrapped up. And we go boundary side for a quick comment.
Looks like I got some dud information from the Surrey Park bench. 63 is actually Josh Durand. Okay. And, instead of the number 15, Mitch Gale is indeed wearing...
Well, as you're speaking, Curry just pulls it out of the ruck, pulls it around on his left, and he signals to the crowd. That's number 2 for Kilsyth, and you can hear the support coming through this effects by Kilsyth. Big early start, 2-2-14, leading this grand final. Surrey Park stranded on 1 point. So Curry, just an act of strength, then got onto his left from 20 metres out. It was just a matter of following through with his kick, and it went straight through.
He did that a couple of times when we saw them earlier in the year. There was one goal he also just pulled it out of ruck and pretty much sealed the game for Kilsyth. But he's going to be the biggest threat for Surrey with Ryan Higgins and Josh Durand in ruck, as well as here is Durand. He got it down to Smith, who's bursting through the middle of East Ringwood Reserve, looking for Paolini, out the back, got the left foot snap. It's just a minor score. The Surrey faithful went up.
They liked it behind the goals.
The umpire didn't. Surrey 2 behind, Kilsyth 2-2-14 after 70 minutes of play here in this first quarter.
So the Surrey Park team would love a goal just to get back into the contest, but settle the nerves potentially, get some forward momentum. It's been a bit unsteady, their moves forward. The kick out this time finds a target in Henschel. Henschel's just stopped in his tracks looking for options further down the field. Goes to the pavilion wing, but Paolini just signals that he's the man for it, and uncontested he takes the mark in the middle of a lot of players. So Paolini, the veteran, will load up a long ball, hoping for a fly. It's going to be 3v1. Luckily, it's close to the line, and the defenders say, we'll just knock it out, as the Vitaka just had 3 on him with no help.
I just get the sense Paolini's going to be everywhere today, isn't he?
And just on that play as well, 3 defenders, that's what they've been doing for pretty much this first quarter. They can't be doing that.
Well, I think Surrey's getting behind the ball, so it's helping them get forward, but when they get forward, they're outnumbered, as also the smother on the kick by Naidu just shows that in effect, and then the ball being taken by Henschel. He's been given a free kick, so he'll advance the ball from half back to half forward soon. Got a short, so they'll keep onto the wing, close to the boundary line. Short kick finds Ray. Ray's looking inboard, probably to open things up, but decides he'll go down the line where there's 10v10. Let's see who the marking options are. Big fly from the side. Nicely done there by Peters. McLaren, sorry, just looking for there, sorry. McLaren gets a kick and it finds nicely Porter. Porter had a great final last week, so he's on the wing. Long ball again. Well, it's really not to any advantage. Late knockdown by Vitaka, keeps it in the area, comes back to him. Vitaka tries to run out, but spills it, gets his handle back on it, and now lines up from 40, and he misses to the left just as the supporters behind the goal said it's all good, and even the players are still waving their arms saying, goal umpire, wasn't that a goal? Well, I don't know because I'm not in line with the ball, but Vitaka was happy with it.
It looked good from here.
It did.
But obviously we don't have the
It drifted, he
goal
hooked
umpire
it,
does.
so the late drift must have gone over the post, says the goal umpire.
It was a great pickup by Vitaka, but the kick coming in wasn't really good enough from Surrey. They'll have to watch those intercept defenders.
As Porter intercepted the mark inside 50, looking for Vitaka. Out the back, tried to tap to Mundy. He might get his hands on this ball, Jasper Mundy. He does well, tries to shrug off 3 Kilsyth tacklers, can't, and we'll have a ball up in the goal square for Surrey Park, who are now looming large inside their attacking 50. They just haven't been able to convert on the scoreboard. Just the 3 behind.
They certainly look threatening, Josh.
Just the 3 behinds to 2-2-14. We're about to tick into time on here in this first quarter as Mundy went up in ruck, applied the tackle, calls for holding the ball from the Surrey Park faithful behind the goal. Nothing doing, and we'll get a ball up. They're getting up and about early on, I have to say, down there. They're going too early, like I have a bad tendency to do. As the tap out from Kilsyth, looking, only finds Mitch Gale. Umpire calls play on. Declan Lamb got the clearing kick. Read well by James Kenworthy, who's moved himself to that far side wing. Off half back the coach. Looking for options inside 50. Not too much doing. Can and Vitaka, the deepest target, goes backwards to Janane. A very dangerous kick, and it's all green grass ahead for both Kilsyth and Surrey Park. Surrey Park have 3 defenders. It might dribble its way through. There's a free kick. There's a free kick. It looked like umpire Lee Green saying it was a push in the back, and so Spencer Lamb.
McLaren just stood in front of Spencer Lamb. Spencer Lamb running forward, fell to the ground. And McLaren thought he set up and was going to get a free kick, but it's a shepherd out when the defenders were all there to take the ball.
Just that pace of Lamb, wasn't it? Really worried the Surrey defenders.
When we last saw him, he was lively in that forward half. He comes in, the shot drifting to the left. Does it have the legs? It's coming back! The first 3 goals of the Division 4 Grand Final to Kilsyth, and a brilliant finish from Spencer Lamb, 3-2-20. Surrey Park just the 3 behinds after 21 minutes here in this first quarter.
See, that's the great result because there was 4-on-1 coming into that forward 50 for Kilsyth, or 1-on-4, so you never thought they were actually going to win out, and lucky enough to get a free kick and convert from there. It was a fantastic finish.
And just the context, the drop mark at half forward, the kick was a bit
Was that
fierce.
the wrong option,
No,
or
it
just
was the
the
right
execution?
option. The one harm attempt at mark being a drop, landing to Spencer Lamb, who just kicked it forward, ran on. He was in a run race with 4, and he was the trailer, and he gets a free kick for being shepherded out. So, Yeah, right option, bad result for Surrey Park. Now the clear out again goes to Wall. Wall gets it forward, but Kenworthy redeems himself, runs onto it. Hand passes forward out of the defence. Ganane might be there to strong arm it out of the congestion, but it's a turnover ball with Lamb being involved, and Kilsyth up and about after kicking the first 3 goals, and MacArthur with strength won't run out of that tackle, but it goes over and out of bounds, 45 metres from Kilsyth's goal. Let's just set the landscape here at East Ringwood Reserve. Grand final for Division 4. Kilsyth starting alight at 3-2-20, leading Surrey Park. Had their opportunities, 3 minor scores. 20 plays 3, clearing kick by Surrey Park goes into the middle of East Ringwood Reserve. Now another load-up ball to Paolini, one-on-one, going back with the flight is Paolini, goes with the fist to knock it forward to harass his defender. Now there's an opportunity for Can to bend down, pick the ball, just as he wanted to get away from the defender, Jacobs. He spilled it over bounds, and he's a little bit dejected by that. But Surrey Park at least are getting inside 50s.
Yeah, 100%.
A little bit surprised how much territory Surrey Park have had. I sort of expected Kilsyth to do that and Surrey hit them on the counter, but it's sort of been the opposite.
Paolini knocks it out the back. He's got a runner in Gale, but it can't get to him. Duran's there to help out, but he spills it under pressure. Nadu is under pressure. Again, they're all under pressure. Glare tried to get onto it, but Kilsyth's strength in the contest gets to Curry. Curry puts it in front of Spencer Lamb. Bounce suits Ivanovic. He falls to ground under the tackle. Now Glare tries to do an underground hand pass. It doesn't work out, and Kilsyth at ground level will wrap it up in the middle of the ground. But the ball's still a contest, and the umpire will come in and ball it up just forward of centre as Surrey Park attack the left of screen if you're watching on Facebook or the YouTube stream. And Kilsyth have kicked 3 goals going to the Mount Dandenong Road end of East Ringwood Reserve. Getting out is Higgins from the ruck contest. He kicks it inside 50. Bounce the ball doesn't suit a Panther, but coming in with strength is Paolini. Goes the bump, allows Vitaka to get onto it. He spills it into on a tackle. The ball's bobbling around. There's opportunities for Surrey Park, but they just can't grab it. And the clearing kick will just take the pressure off temporarily, maybe. Ivanovic knocks it on, but he gets harassed off the ball. Glaire's got it. He gets harassed. Spencer Lamb gets tackled. As he kicks, gets taken off. No free kick against, and he allows his teammate in Wycard to run away from the contest. Now they go out wide, and it's Surrey Park trying to get onto the ball with Glare. That's too close to the line and over, just as Glare was going to run forward. A lot of pressure around the ball, and it's in now in the hands of Ivanovic. Centre wing, short kick, overloaded his kick. The defenders muck it up, but they've still got enough of them. Surrey Park with Peters high up and under. Paolini comes in late, takes a bit of ball, takes a bit of his opponent. Then he gets taken down by Curry, thinking, well, I didn't like you in the contest, so I'm going to knock you down. And Paolini will pick himself up with the ball in hand. It's close to quarter time. Surrey Park trailing 3-20, looking to get their first goal on late in this first term. Paolini will load up. Long ball to the pocket, Can leading, gets in the back position, just drifts off the bigger opponent, and the spoil comes in well by Hoekstra. And Can's just not getting in the game, is he, Josh?
He's not.
Didn't have many options to actually present to him, and unfortunately kicked to a 3-on-2 and just never going to work out.
They're defending them really well, though, aren't they? Kilsyth, they're pushing that kick really wide every time.
They're running in numbers in defence. They are really strong in that area so far. As Wall got the clearance, Paolini parked underneath this, couldn't take the mark. O'Neill high up and under kicked. Out on the full indeed, Paul. Right near the Kilsyth bench and right in front of a packed East Ringwood Reserve, Ryan.
Around the grounds in the Division 2 preliminary final, Templestowe 5-2, Heedmont 3-1.
So good start there from the Dockers. A high-scoring start too as Haynes down the line. Paolini, the big target. Got 2 hands to it and took the strong grab. Had a bit of a juggle there as well. Winds back with that unique kicking style of his, looking for Nankara with the fly, couldn't take the mark. There's a push out and a free kick going in the direction of Kilsyth. Parked on the 40-metre arcs out here at East Ringwood Reserve, directly in front of Surrey Park's goal. It's going to be Cameron MacArthur with the free kick, a member of the last grand final for Kilsyth. This kick is cut off by Ryan Kennedy, who came back in last week. Goes out wide to his coach, Kenworthy.
5 intercept marks to 2 in favour of Surrey Park this quarter.
I wonder how many of those intercept marks have come to Kenworthy. He's definitely had a lot of intercept possessions early on as he launches one inside 50. Mundy in a 1-on-3. Got it to ground. Browning with the attempted kick off the ground. Durant took on 2. Umpire called play on. Garvin scooped it out. Only in the direction of McNay. Kilsyth will be able to clear. Paolini shrugging off Declan Lamb off the ball like he was nothing there.
Boundary.
As we go down boundary side to Jared Beanland.
On that last kick inside 50, Nick Can was screaming for it. It was one of the few times he actually managed to escape Hoogstra, but got ignored by the kicker.
As the ball is tossed back up, Curry up against Tiggins. Curry with the hit out. The kick backwards from Surrey Park. It'll still find Panther hands. Porter wasn't paid the mark. His hands and knees. Naidu got the handball out, and Kenworthy heaps of space on this broadcast side wing looking for Paolini. It was read well by Jacobs, the captain. Goes back on his mark right in front of the Surrey Park bench. Won't be too happy. 3 behinds in this first quarter. Kilsyth 3-2-20 after 28 minutes here. Jacobs goes down the line. 3-on-3. Getting out the front there, Lachlan Peters, who was stellar in defence last week against Scoresby in that preliminary final, takes his time. Got a couple of leads. Kennedy all on his own. He might go to him. He doesn't. Instead, it's going to be Peter Wall intercept. No mark taken. There goes the siren for quarter time. The Cougars with the fast start. They lead 3-2-20. Surrey Park just the 3 behinds. The goal kickers, Sean Curry, Spencer Lamb and Jared O'Neill in that first quarter for the Cougars, whilst none for Surrey Park. We're going to go to a break here on the in the EFNL Division 4 Senior Grand Final. When we return, we'll have one of the coaches and we'll bring you the second quarter of action out here between Kilsyth and Surrey Park.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
The first time I met the team at Tobin Brothers Funerals, I felt like I'd known them for years. They're so caring, honest and passionate. James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals, sums it up best when he says,
Every day our people get out of bed to assist client families in their absolute time of need. Our people love what they do, and you will not find a more highly trained group of people than those at Tobin Brothers.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Hi, I'm Ben Desson from Montrose Football Netball Club, and when I need a new kit for a night out, I head over to Eastland. But Eastland is more than a shopping centre. They support a range of community organisations and have been major partners of the Eastern Football Netball League since 2018. Thanks, Eastland.
You are listening listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 match of the day coverage.
EFNL Division 4 Seniors Grand Final live here from East Ringwood Reserve. It's Kilsyth with the fast start, 3-2-20, leading Surrey Park just the 3 behind at quarter time. A really as I said, a fast start from the Cougars. We were talking off air, it was just those bigger bodies that proved to be the difference, and running in numbers in defence as well, getting numbers to the ball deal.
Yeah, spot on. 16-9 in the clearances kind of tells the story. I am a little bit surprised with how much territory Surrey Park are taking, but what that's allowing Kilsyth to do is there's an enormous amount of space left up the ground, and when Kilsyth are able to transition, they win those clearances in the back half, they've got a hell of a lot of space for all of their forwards to sort of work into, and they look a lot more potent when they're going forward.
As we're about to go down boundary side to Jared Beanland, who's with the playing coach of the Surrey Park Football Club in James Kenworthy. We'll see what he has to say, what he had to say at that quarter time address.
He's got to get on the field.
He's got, I wonder who he will get. Of course, there's Kane Hendon on the sideline. There's a couple of players, but we'll see how he goes.
This is like a documentary of Jared looking bemused. Is with the camera following him.
We're having a good time following Jared, but I don't think he might be able to get anyone. Blake Tennant down at the Kilsyth huddle. I'm sure Simon Caldwell would be very, very happy with that first quarter. Kane Hendon is down.
Blake doesn't have his headset on, and he's just coming off a kick to kick, I think.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if those bigger bodies can keep it up for the rest of this game. I think they should for a half, as Jared Beanland is now running across to Kane Hendon now.
Boundary.
Let's go down to Jared.
I've got Kane Hendon, assistant coach at Surrey Park. Mate, the coach was pretty staunch on getting the forwards working a little bit harder. How do you see it?
Look, we're not mixing positions well enough. I suppose we're just kind of playing to the magnets. We just got to move the footy around by moving the positions around as well. When we're 60, 70 out, we've got called the launch pad. That's when we've got to get it in, wheel and go. In terms of the mids, look, Curry's a dominant ruckman. We just got to play off him, work one-on-one when it hits the ground, go from there.
And the scores from Kilsyth, they came from a couple of mistakes. Is that something that you guys are just settling into the grand final, just nerves coming out a little bit?
Oh, obviously, yeah, but we've just got to, we call it march up, control possession. You'll see this quarter, the word's gone out. We're going to control possession, make them chase our tail.
Excellent. Thanks, Kane.
Thank you to Jared Beanland down there on ground level. Let's go down to Blake Tennant on the boundary.
Yeah, just listening into Kilsyth's coach Simon Caldwell there. He was pretty happy with his plays, troops at this stage, but he says he wants to go a little bit more on the 45 when they're kicking to the plays. Kick on the 45, changing angles. You know, he says that will kill Surrey Park, and just making sure that they do not fumble a bit more. They want to be more cleaner.
Thanks to Blake coming off the Kilsyth huddle there, and Jared interviewing the assistant coach just before. Great insight into what was the huddles for after the first term. Quarter time score, Kilsyth 3-2-20, leading Surrey Park 3 minor scores. It's now Surrey Park just getting a little bit forward out of the centre. Higgins knocks it forward, trying to get his player running onto it in Bacon. Bacon hands it to the forward 50, but no possession clearly won. Surrey Park just get some territory out of the middle. Second term under the way in the 2023 Division 4 Grand Final. Surrey Park will be excited to get their first goal. They've had plenty of opportunities, but the ball bobbling around. Another hand pass forward for Kilsyth. They love getting it forward at all costs. This time again, Henshaw goes again with a hand pass, but the tackles fly in, and Kilsyth aren't going to get it forward of the wing as Aiton is tackled down, just like his those rugby ones where the second player comes in and makes sure you go down. Centre wing of East Ringwood Reserve. Higgins again, good position, wins the tap, but Wycard roves it, runs around the back of the pack, now wheels onto his right, gets it long inside 50, leading option, no mark taken, ball's bouncing around Kilsyth's forward line, and there's an off the field bump. That's going to be a free kick against. I know it was a bit indiscreet before by O'Neill, but when he's standing then and he's just being knocked over, the umpire's going to give him a free kick. He may have gone in hot and heavy initially on his contest, but the Garvin knocking him over was ill-discipline, silliness, could go more into the adjectives, but I won't. It's going to be a shot at the goal for O'Neill, 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. O'Neill, right foot, long ball, top of the goal square, hoping for a stand-up mark. No mark taken for Kilsyth. Back of the pack numbers with Surrey Park, and they'll concede the point, and they get away from that Garvin mistake. Kilsyth 3-3-21, lead by 3 goals. Surrey Park yet to get a goal, 3 points.
George Haynes will take this kick in here. Bit of a shaky start from Surrey as he goes to far side half-back flank. Mark dropped by Nankaro. Kilsyth have the numbers on the ground. Get the shot on goal. Just hitting the behind post, out of bounds on the full. A good effort there on the run from Kilsyth. It'll be Sam Naidu who takes this free kick. Ivanovic trying to man the mark. Umpire calling him back. Naidu going down the line, looking for Jamie Glare. Miscommunication, and it's just trickled out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So Kilsyth early on forcing them down the line. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to implement what Kenworthy said at quarter time. That controlling style for Surrey Park as Curry controlling the ruck, gets the tap down, looking for O'Neill. Boundary line beats him, and we'll get a boundary throw-in, Dill.
Yeah, they certainly haven't been able to sort of just get hold of the footy at this stage, get those uncontested marks like they spoke about.
So the ball will be tossed right on the paint of 40, I beg your pardon, out here at East Ringwood Reserve broadcast side for Kilsyth as Curry, big fist forward, only found the hands of McLaren. His kick was cut off by McKinley Aiden. Inside 50 he goes, looking for Jared Arthur. Got a bit of space ahead of George Haynes. Out the back, Gunson tapped it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in as we go down boundary side.
Part of James Kenworthy's address to the players at quarter time was directed at Nick Can, saying that we need you. And I've seen him now playing a little bit further up the ground while Michael Taylor in here seems to be a bit deeper. So they might have switched roles a little bit.
So taken out of ruck by Arthur. It'll be cut off here by Surrey as the shot on from Arthur is drifting to the left and going out of bounds on the full. So
well, it's good to see him move up the ground because
goal from
you can't have that influence if they're not getting enough inside 50s, which they haven't in this quarter, the first few minutes.
So they've soaked up the pressure pretty nicely, though, have Surrey Park. Pretty much on the last line have held up, and McLaren being one of those players. Short in ball. Is it 2 over the top? 2 grabs. I only go excited because if he dropped the mark, it's a feast for the Kilsyth players. But thankfully, Matthew Garvin picks himself up with the ball, then kicks it in the man of the mark. The smother goes into the pocket. There's numbers to help. Garvin's mistake, but the tackle flies in. It's got to be holding the ball because he dropped it, Peters. And now mistake after mistake will lead to a shot on goal for Kilsyth, and it's O'Neill again having a shot, but this time he's only 20 metres out.
Well, they said they wanted to control the footy, but if you try to control the footy and you miss your targets...
They're not controlling the footy at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, there was some relief at Garvin taking the mark in the corridor, and then he kicks and he nearly... well, I was going to say knackered, he's the man on the mark, but it bounced off. O'Neill from the tackle, it's on the goal post. Is it a goal? The goal umpire signals number 4 for Kilsyth. 4 goals, 3-27. They lead by those 4 goals over Surrey Park. O'Neill second, and it's a big lead in this grand final.
They got to switch the magnets. They got to make some more moves.
You have to now at the moment.
This is getting out of hand, and we're only 5 minutes into the second quarter. They haven't kicked a goal, and just those turnovers. They're conceding.
They can lose the game in the next 10 minutes if they let it get out of hand.
As we move,
but it's only a 4-goal margin. Like it's very still obviously manageable. Just get one, and you start to get a bit of momentum.
As Curry got a big lead, Smith read the tap well. Will be able to get this clearance. Although McNay applied a really strong tackle. Garvin back onto the ground, got the kick away, looking for Lachlan Bacon. Might run onto this. Daniel got the handball out, looking for Machete. The ball trickles out of bounds right in front of one of the new light towers out here at East Ringwood Reserve.
They've lifted that Mitch Gale tag on Reichardt, and he actually was unopposed at that former centre clearance, so that's another one they're just going to have to watch.
Paul, you go nice stats centre quickly.
The inside 50s this quarter are 4 to zip the way of Kilsyth.
As the ball tossed back into play, Higgins got the tap from behind, looking for Mundy. Running onto this is Kennedy, shrugged off one tackle. He couldn't, in fact, and Travis Browning Part of that 2015 premiership grand final side as well. Got the kick out to Cameron MacArthur, another member of the 2015 grand final. Goes down the line looking for Machete, overcooked it, and Kenworthy read it well. Goes in board, dangerous kick, still finds Lachlan Bacon. Got a leading option in Paolini and Can. Looks for Can. Mundy around this as well. Took the mark. And Jasper Mundy, who, as Jared Beanland said last week, the final specialist, he's kicked 2 goals in both the semi-final and the preliminary final. He'll go back. He kicked from the right side for a left footer from a very acute angle out here. He's been a star since coming into the Surrey Park lineup this season. Comes in, wheels onto the left, through for a minor score.
Didn't kick the goal, but that's what they have to do, don't they? They force a turnover. Kenworthy makes that 45 kick on the inside, and then they go.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do, open up the game with a kick, but if the kick's off by a metre, Kilsyth are pouncing.
And we've seen that a couple times already.
So the ball's just slow to come back to the kicker-outerer. And the unfortunate part for people having shots at goal, the pockets are pretty deep here. So if you're in the pocket, you're going to have a very acute angle shots at goal today here at East Ringwood. The kick, Kilsyth keep it in hand to Curry on the outer side. He takes an uncontested mark, and really that zone failed Surrey Park this time. The switch is long and it's deep. It goes the width of the ground. It eludes the player that it was intended to. So Ray left it behind initially, but picks it up and runs away from the attackers of Surrey Park. But the kick only finds Peters in the middle of the ground. He'll load up again. This might open up for Surrey Park just because everything moved up. Mundy led onto it from 50. He's not thinking about goal. He puts it in a hot spot. Paolini! Late to the party, but he takes a strong grab and even pushes off some of the players just to say it's all about me.
Well, we saw it in the reserves where a costly reversal, but strong hands, and he's going to have a big afternoon if they're to win.
Well, he's showing his strength, but he is inserting himself in this game, and that's going to be good for Surrey Park. We'll get some stats in a moment just after the kick from Paolini. He's probably, I would say, their best player on the ground so far. Paolini from 30. He's put it offline only a little bit, but it's a goal. Surrey Park have got their first, and now they're on the board 1-4-10, trailing Kilsyth 4-3-27. Paolini's first gets Surrey Park's first in the second term.
And again, it was off the turnover, and the ability to swing around and go fast inside 50, hit up Mundy on the wing, and then they got the shot on goal.
Paul Yukone in the stats centre.
Well, Surrey Park, it was an important one to get for Surrey Park, not just for the first goal, but they need to get one because they lead the inside 50 marks 4-0 Surrey Park. So it was important to get one there, Josh.
And it was important for Michael Paolini to get that mark, to get that goal as well. He missed a couple, and
I hope I said just a little bit off centre. That's what I meant to say.
It was a bit off. As the ball is tossed back up, Duran took it out of ruck. Valahay with the kick off the ground, moved into the centre stoppage. Garvin able to run onto this, got the handball away, looking for Kobe Vitaka. Boundary line might beat Declan Lamb. It does. Right in front of a big contingent of fans out here, mixture of fans out here at East Ringwood Reserve. It's great.
What do you reckon the numbers are?
Oh.
Not numbers total, but the breakdown, 50-50, 60-40.
I'd probably say 50-50. There's a few more Surrey Park fans behind the goals, as umpire will call the toss of the ball back in. There's not too many behind the Kilsyth goal, whereas you've got a couple of rows for Surrey Park, actually. But I probably would say Surrey Park have the more fans out here. There would be a couple of neutrals, of course. Strenside Park, Forest Hill and Scoresby. They're playing on today as well. As Curry got the tap down. Naidu read it well. Duran with the kick off the ground. Inside 50 looking for Bacon. Got the handball over the top. Looking for Vitaka, who's looked very lively in that forward half for Surrey Park. Boundary line beats him and got a forward 50 stoppage. Deep in Surrey Park's attacking 50. The ball will be tossed back about 20 metres out from their goal as Duran goes up against Sean Curry. No clear winner in that tap as Kilsyth have the numbers on the ground. Fallahay out the back. Got the snap on goal. This would be something spectacular, drifting to the right. And a minor score. Another one for Surrey. 1-5-11. Kilsyth 4-30-27 after 11 minutes of play here in this second quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It's funny, when the ball goes that high, we're all doing that lean where we were like trying to bend the ball ourselves into the goals. But it was off the boot right, and it misses the goals by 5 metres. The kick out again finds an open player in Henschel. So that zone defence not holding up. Easy marks are taken by Kilsyth from the kick outs. Henschel's called to play on, so he's rushed into the kick to the wing. Haynes sets up beautifully, but he goes half spoil, half mark attempt. Hits the ground where Kenworthy gets involved, but it's been knocked out of bounds. And it'll be a ball in forward of centre wing for Surrey Park, who've really got back into this contest and on the scoreboard. 16-point margin now. It was 17 at quarter time, but they've only kicked their first goal after conceding the first 4. Surrey Park again trying to bundle it forward, but off the pack. It's nicely done by Henschel. His kick has gone higher than longer, so it's in the middle of East Ringwood Reserve. Picked up by Ganane, hands it forward. Now the runner's going to be Garvin. Garvin goes inside 50. Paolini's wrestling his way to the front on a leading option. Can goes to tackle. That might be holding the ball because the second attempt to get rid of it was dropped, and it's going to be a free kick and shot at goal for Surrey Park. And it wasn't Can being the tackler, it was Vitaka. So Vitaka did well there because he's known for being creative on the outside, but to get involved in a hard tackle and wrap up his opponent was fantastic. So Vitaka, left pocket, right footer, kicks it. Mel, the goal umpire had no pressure on him. He just looked above his hat and said, that's a goal. Vitaka gets Surrey Park second, and it seems like game on. 13 minutes in the second term. It's 17 plays 27 with Kilsyth leading.
Exactly the same source as their first goal. It was a turnover in the middle of the ground, quick entry, got it in, puts the Kilsyth defence under immense pressure, and the goal comes.
Maybe they should just stick to that, not going the control, just turning it over in the middle of the ground and getting a shot on goal. That was an impressive goal from Kobe Vitaka.
It's more the chaos game.
Yeah, as they won't mind that, given they've got the leg speed. Kilsyth also have leg speed, but not as much as Surrey Park as the ball. Going to be tossed back into the middle. 19 goals for the season now for Kobe Vitaka in just 14 games in his first senior season as the ball is tossed back up. Curry, big fist, looking for Wall. Was he taken high? He wasn't. Bacon, handball over the top. Fallahaye's going to run onto it. He's going to get the kick inside 50. Looking for Ryan Kennedy. Got 2 hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Vitaka shrugged his player off the ball. Did really well. He might go for goal here. Takes a bounce. What a goal this would be. Just falls short. And read well there by McKinley Ayton.
Well, I think he may have been centering it eventually.
Because he was being tackled as he bounced
he was under a lot of pressure. Credit to Travis Browning there for keeping up with Vitaka as they're on the far side back pocket here, Kilsyth. Rebound from defence through Drew Sells. There's going to be O'Neill fly out the back. Janane got it to George Haynes. Kilsyth will be able to break 3 though through Nathan Van Vegten. Kenworthy under Goodinson. Pressure. Did really well. Applies the tackle. Does Kenworthy. Shrugs it off. Does Goodinson. Gets a shot on goal. Not going to make the distance. It's a one-on-one. Young Charlie Nankaro might have to do some really good stuff here, and he does so. Applies the tackle on Jaden Weikart. Holding the ball, says the umpire. That is absolutely brilliant from Charlie Nankaro, who's only in his 4th senior game.
That's got to lift the team.
Yeah.
From the young 18-year-old who only came into the senior lineup in the final round of the home and away season. He has been sensational. Goes short. Dangerous kick. Spoil from Ryan McNay. Might have been a big goal off the ball. We're going to get another boundary throw in here right on the paint of 50 as Durand and Sean Curry move into position here. They've been doing a bit of the rucking the last couple of minutes. Durand did really well, got it out the back. Fallahay, Mundy will be able to run onto this ball. Goes a very dangerous kick. It won't be cut off. It will be now by Kilsyth, although not reading that well. Bailey Ray evaded a couple of tacklers, did really well, burst the speed, handball over the top, and Kilsyth, they have the numbers. Sells the candy, goes out wide to Nathan Van Vegten in a one-on-one. Matt Garvin did well, got the spoil in. Does it trickle out of bounds? It doesn't. Garvin wins the foot race. Van Vegten does really well. Is the umpire going to ping him? He isn't. Just going to be a ball up just outside the 40-metre arc for Kilsyth.
We had some really good one-on-one battles we saw before with Goodison and Kenworthy, Weikart before.
Feels
really
like
starting to
Surrey
heat
Park,
up.
they're just starting to get on top in the clearances. I'd love to get that off you, Paul.
Yeah, the clearances are 8-3 this quarter the way of Surrey Park.
Peters got it to Bacon. Bacon wiggles out of a tackle, gets it forward, so they're off to the races. Surrey Park hand pass forward. Mundy on the bounce. It was too much for him, but he's good to keep in the contest. Got some help from Smith. Ken Worthy run onto it. Will he run away from his opponent? He has a bounce, so he's confident he could do so. Had to hand pass in front of himself. Paolini runs onto it. Free kick off the whistle off the ball. Ken Worthy just couldn't outrun his tackler there, so had to handball at it, and that went out before Paolini could keep it in. So it's a boundary throw in. Just looked like Surrey Park were up and running there, but it was close to the line, and the line wins this time.
He likes that little move, Ken Worthy, little handball out in front.
I think he thinks he can outrun anyone, but he's got a rude shock a couple of times today.
Yep.
But the defensive side of this game has been fantastic. Tackles, knock-ons, late spoils have been fantastic. Goodison run onto a lead, drops it, but on the wing he's good enough to get onto the ball again. He's high up and under, lets Ganane first there, and he's solid as he rises. He doesn't let it go. His switch kick is good to Haynes. George Haynes has got a short on. Well, he goes longer in effect, and it nicely hit up, but dropping it there was Bacon. Bacon has to tackle his opponent in Ray. And Ray runs off as soon as he gets out of that contest because he's doing a switch, and it's a ball up. Half forward for Kilsyth attacking. They haven't done much attacking this quarter. 1-2. Surrey Park have closed the margin to 10 points after conceding the first 4 goals of this grand final. But it does feel like a 50-50 or even more in Surrey Park's favour in the last 10 minutes.
Weikart and McNay, they've both in this second quarter just gone out of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
So one down to Weikart. There he is. So he gets on the ball just to make sound silly. But the bouncing ball well wrapped up by Garvin. Gets out of a tackle. Bounces off the defender. Hands it off. Leading option of Khan. Just drops it in the middle. Ken Worthy's there to knock it forward with his foot. His kick goes bundling forward. 20. Now it's a contested ball. Bacon, picks it up eventually at half forward and fires an open running Can. So all that movement meant that Can could just get out of that contest in the middle, run forward, and he just reached for his left hamstring again. So
yeah, and he's just on the 40-metre arc too, so if it is a hamstring issue, it's going to be tough to...
It's going to be a hard kick for him, isn't it, if he's stretching big. And even now, look at him on his... So if you've got camera view of this, he's got both hands on his knees. He's gasping for a little bit of air, but he's an electrifying player. He loves the goal. Let's see what he can do from 45. High, long. The supporters were up. They nearly got me, but it missed to the left, minor score. So it's not affecting his... When it's goals there, Cam will get up. And 2-6-18. Trail Surrey Park, Kilsyth 4-3-27. Couple of close misses for Surrey Park this game.
As the ball goes out to that far side from the Kilsyth kick in. They've got plenty of numbers around this contest. Can't go any further though, and we'll get a ball up here, still outside the 40-metre arc for Surrey, about 60 metres out from their goal. As ball will be tossed back up with Arthur and Ryan Higgins to do battle. Higgins wins the hit out. Smith able to run onto it. Got a short grubber kick looking for Jasper Mundy. Did really well, kept it in front of him. Might pick up the ball. Was wrapped up by his Kilsyth opponent, and we'll get a ball up here. So just about to tick into time on. 20 minutes gone in this second quarter. Kilsyth 4-3-27. Surrey Park 2-6-18 as the ball tossed back up. Tom Smith, you don't see that every day in ruck. Play on, says the umpire from the kick. Gale got it inside 50. Can might be able to run onto this. Wheel around onto his right. Vitaka, Bacon parked underneath this, as is Weikart. Vitaka can't do anything. Weikart able to rush it through, and Surrey moved to 2-7-19. Kilsyth 4-3-27. 20 and a half minutes gone here in this second quarter.
So they're getting the inside 50s. We might look at that stat again because it seems like Surrey Park are leading the way for inside 50s. Kick out for Kilsyth. They've had a few goes at it. This time it's a contest close to the line and it's out of bounds off hands. Let's get that stat from Paul.
The inside 50s this quarter are 10-5 the way of Surrey Park.
And so it all points to this game having a bit of flow for the Panthers in the second term. They were jumped, and mainly their mistakes have led to goals for Kilsyth. Kilsyth have been good around the contest. Back of the pack again. Wall tries to stand up in the tackle. Hand passes it wildly, but it does hit a target. McNay runs away from 3, but the fourth person to get at him tackles him down, and Smith will take the free kick for a run down holding the ball tackle. Now he'll go inside 40. The leading option of Can is on the boundary line. Did the boundary line win the race? No. Can took the mark before sliding out. If from our view it looked like the boundary was already there when the ball...
seen a replay of that one.
So Can's got the good fortune of having a shot, and I just may make a prediction. If this goes through the middle of the goals, there will be celebrations unseen today.
And there's plenty of Kilsyth fans in there too.
Can from 40, long kick, it's a ball burster, it's drifting to the goal line, it's just short in the end, tackled by Kilsyth, close the line, finally they concede a point.
Very lucky.
And yes, because he took on the tackler holding up on the last line, but point conceded, 2-8, Surrey Park 20, closing by point, Kilsyth 4-3, 27, 22 minutes second term.
I think Surrey take this.
They do.
I think they've been excellent in this quarter.
As the kick in goes out to this broadcast side. Galere from the behind got the spoil in, but Kilsyth had the numbers on the ground. Wall trying to burst his way through, got a handball away. Spencer Lamb was wrapped up by Jack McLaren. And we get a ball up. True centre wing broadcast side as there were appeals for...
I'd love a tackle count, actually.
I would love the tackle count too. We'll go to Paul shortly on that tackle count as Higgins got the clearance following up his own work. Gale found Bacon, bounced in favour of him, still has time. Evaded 3 tacklers from Kilsyth, got the handball over the top. Bounced in favour of Glare as well. Kennedy bursting his way through. Bacon with a nice spin move. Tried to get the handball away. Kennedy did to Glare. It's inside 50 now for Surrey Park. Paolini bursting his way through. It trickles out the back. Can able to run onto it and keep it in. Can he run onto this? He can't. The boundary line beats him and we'll have a boundary throw in. 23 minutes gone in this second quarter. Surrey looming. They've only kicked 2-8 though. Paul Yukone, Stats Centre.
Yeah, we'll give you the tackle count. The second quarter is 12 apiece. It's been so even, the tackle count. It's 28 apiece in the whole game.
It's a pressure cooker out here at East Ringwood Reserve as the ball tossed back in. Paolini won the hit out, only to a Kilsyth opponent though. Can't completely control the ball and invites the Nick Cam pressure. Christ for holding the ball from the Surrey Park faithful. Nothing doing.
He dragged it in.
I'll have a ball up. Nevertheless, it could have been a free kick, but umpire didn't pay it as ball's tossed back up. Curry got the tap down, and Kilsyth, will they be able to clear? There's a free kick being paid, and it'll go in the direction of Kilsyth.
Yeah, McNay.
Who had a really good first quarter. He's been dominant against Surrey Park whenever he's played against them. Looking the inboard kick, got Jake Henschel all on his own. Van Veen has a handball option over the top, ignores him. Instead got McNay on the handball receive, shrugs off Tom Smith through the turf synthetic wicket out here, and Durand is able to cut it off. Nancaro with heaps of yardage on that far side goes to Fallahay. Was he pushed out? He wasn't. Umpire calls it back to Fallahay, so he'll take this free kick. He's had a good second quarter as well as Fallahay. Goes inside 50. Paolini, the big target, coming through there, did really well. That was Hayden Daniel and Kilsyth.
It's a really poor kick, that one. You've got the spare there for Kilsyth.
But the kick didn't hit the target, so they're under pressure to half forward. And the tackle flies in again, and it'll be a ball up 45 metres from Surrey Park's goals. They have been closing the gap with 2 goals replying to the first 4, and now it's been a series of points with all this momentum. Surrey Park probably deserve another shot at goal before half-time. Flyers go at it as the kick goes in from Smith. Mundy comes in the tackle. He just lets his opponent go, so Kilsyth can bundle out. Goodinson sets himself at half-back. Ken Worthy runs around him to take the ball in front of him. Hand passes when he probably already got rid of Goodinson, but he gets on the ball, kicks it high up and under to the 45 arc, getting it at Gale, hands it over to his teammate. Can't get that release hand pass, and Kilsyth holding up nicely. The release kick goes long to Goodinson on the wing, who was at that last contest with Ken Worthy, and he didn't have an opponent to take the mark. But he's got to slow it down because they're under the pump, Kilsyth. And the kick just shows the pressure is prevailing, and the kick goes from the wing and out of bounds on the full.
Well, that pressure, it's created so many turnovers, and in this part of the ground specifically, and that's another one there.
Peters takes the resulting free kick, goes long. With the sun in the eyes of Smith, he goes up one-handed and he eventually knocks it out with that one hand.
And Dylan, you got to credit the work of James Kenworthy in the first half. I thought he's really worked hard.
Fantastic. And
Created
there it was again, that little handball out. He loves that move.
You love it too.
26 minutes, second term. Kilsyth stranded on 27. Smith takes what was a kick forward, 10 metres forward, but no mark for Smith. So the turnover ball, Goodison underneath it, punched late by Garvin, releases the ball into the wing. Garvin goes again, got support. Peters can't get onto Porter's hand pass forward. It's flying around the ball, but no one's taking possession. Finally, Surrey Park have got it in hand. Smith out wide will take under congestion, the pass to find Smith. Half forward was brilliant. So it's 27 plays 20. Surrey Park closing their gap in this second term. Now I've got Durand taking the mark and settling 45 out. There's going to be a report. It's off the play and Porter's been sent with a yellow card, and that'll have to be a turnover free kick when Surrey was setting themselves up for potentially a shot at goal. And I don't know what he did, if you guys can give us more information on the boundary side, but that is another mistake and ill discipline that might result in Kilsyth getting on the board again. But it's in the hands of Spencer Lamb, forward of centre circle. All the defenders have got back for Surrey Park. Kenworthy on the mark.
Is this deja vu from last year? Was it Woodfull who got yellow carded right before half time?
So Surrey with all the momentum, it'll be crushed by a shot at goal for Kilsyth. Long ball in, defence sets up nicely, but Kilsyth get it to Wycard. He's trying to get it open for a shot. His hand pass to Henshaw. Henshaw's under a lot of pressure. O'Neill finally snaps it from 40 as he gets the hand pass release, hits the post. It was a long goal at it, and it hit the post, or the players did. It might be a goal. It's a goal in the end, but the players who tried to defend it knocked it and wobbled the goalpost. But the umpire was right onto it, and it's a goal to O'Neill. Let's get back to the play. O'Neill from 40 snaps a brilliant one.
That's the third goal now he's kicked in the first half, and that really hurts Surrey Park because they've controlled this quarter. So that is quite unfortunate. As we go boundary side to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, just following up on that yellow card, boys. Obviously, it was number 40, Sam Porter. Apparently, there was just a little bit of push and shove going on, and eventually, I think a player fell down and got him on the neck. I think it was an old-school jumper punch, boys, so there you go.
Ball toss back up. Higgins got the tap from behind. McNay able to run onto it. Garvin did well. Handball over the top into green grass, or yellow grass out here at East Ringwood Reserve. Kennedy might get a shot on goal here. Is it going to drift its way through? Paolini, the big target, rushed through. The sixth behind of the quarter for Surrey. 2-6 they've kicked.
That kick just has to lower the eyes. They've done that long bomb one. That just gets cut off every time.
2-9-21 the Panthers.
Got to use Paolini while he's up there.
The 2-9-21, Surrey. They still trail by just two straight kicks though. 5-3-33. They have to, because he's probably been the biggest threat up forward for Surrey Park as Michael Paolini, as Wycard will take this kick in. Goes down the line to this broadcast side centre wing. The fly from behind and the strong hands there. That was Luke Hoekstra. Had a really good first quarter on Nick Can. Going down the line. Kenworthy parked underneath this, dropped the mark. Arthur on the ground, only tapped it to Lachlan Bacon, wrapped up by two Kilsyth opponents. We'll get a ball up here right in front of us in the broadcast position out here at East Ringwood Reserve at the new Coppersmith Pavilion. 29.5 minutes gone here, just about to tick into the 30-minute mark. It's Kilsyth that lead by 2 goals. Curry got the tap down, Wall bursting his way through, intercepted by Fallahay. Might be able to run onto this. It's Glare that does. He was wrapped up, and there goes the half-time siren. So Surrey made their way into that contest before the half, but they still half-time break but they still trail 2-9-21 to Kilsyth 5-3-33 after a 30-minute quarter. The major goal kickers, Michael Paolini and Kobe Vitaka with 2 with the only goals for Surrey, whilst for Kilsyth, Jared O'Neill with 3, Sean Curry and Spencer Lamb with 1 each. We're going to go to a break here. When we return, we'll bring in the half-time show in the EFNL Division 4 Senior Grand Final between Kilsyth and Surrey Park.
As Sarah opened her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Tobin Brothers Funerals wear their heart on their sleeve. Their clear and easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app make it easy for families to make an informed decision. Here's James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals.
We pride ourselves on being the most transparent funeral company. All pricing on goods and services are available on our website. It's all there for you to see and make very informed decisions when planning a loved one's funeral.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Half-time here at East Ringwood Reserve. It's Kilsyth 5-3-33. Leading Surrey Park 2-9-21 in a very, very tense encounter in the first half. Joining me for half-time is Matt Spiderlee and Blake Tennant. Spider, what do you make of the first half?
Oh, amazing start to the game when you consider, obviously Kilsyth kicking the first 4 goals of the game and simply taking their chances on the scoreboard, and then having that period of dominance through the midfield. But the fight back from Surrey Park, particularly in the second term, they managed to get some goals, but then they've squandered so many opportunities, just haven't been able to kick some others. They've had their opportunities, and then just a momentum killer late in the second term, which cost them a goal right just on half-time. And they're the sort of swings and roundabouts that can cost you big games of football. They've just got to calm themselves. They've got to stay disciplined. They've got to stay focused. James Kenworthy's just got to make sure that the team doesn't lose the focus of the game, because that's what can happen. You can, at this point in time in the game, when it is intense, it's hot in the kitchen, you've just got to stay composed. The team that stays the most composed in these circumstances could set themselves up to win the game. So this next period of the game going after half-time is going to be all important. But at the moment, Kilsyth, for me, just a fraction in front, because the scoreboard indicates that. They just look like when they go forward, they're causing them some problems. But they are getting the repeat entry, Surrey Park. So that's some encouraging signs for them, starting to put the Kilsyth defence under a bit of pressure.
Also joining us, Jared Beanland, and to you and Blake, the atmosphere on the ground out there, it seems very tense. When Surrey Park get the ball on their terms, they certainly are outrunning Kilsyth, but Kilsyth, they like it when it's close, like close checking, where they can use their big bodies and able to tie Surrey Park up. Blake, can they hold on and do it long enough to without letting Surrey Park off the leash?
Well, when I was listening in to Jared Beelan when he was talking to James Kempworthy. He was
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $200 a year on water and energy bills. Shower shorter. Save water. Authorised by the Victorian Government, 1 Treasury Place, Melbourne.
Sprained your ankle bursting through the banner? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home, at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. You'll generally experience shorter wait times. Knox Private 24/7 Emergency, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Second half about to get underway in the EFNL Division 4 Seniors Grand Final out here at East Ringwood Reserve. It's Kilsyth that lead at the main break, 5-3-33 to 2-9-21. Surrey had their chances in that second quarter, just couldn't convert. Kick 2 goals, 6 to just the 2 goals, or 1 to Kilsyth. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep it up in this third quarter, as it's known, the premiership quarter, a terminology I enjoy as a Cullen fan. But let's see what happens. It's going to be Higgins and Sean Curry in that ruck battle. I thought we were talking off air, Dill, just how good Josh Durand was in the ruck against Curry. So it'll be interesting to see if Kentworthy throws that magnet sometime soon as players moving into position here. We're set up for a massive ending, though.
Yeah. As you said there, Durand, he just has that little bit extra mobility, and he can use his athleticism to get the ball a little bit wider of the contest, and I think that suits Surrey with their runners. And you know, I thought they were fantastic in that first half, to be honest. 11 scoring shots to 8, and, you know, did actually control the game towards the end there.
33 plays 21. Kilsyth kicking to the mount down in on road end, but Higgins wins the tap to Smith. He can't burst out of the tackle, but he gets a kick forward, and Can runs onto it, running with the fly to ball, takes a mark from 40, and he has a kick 45-degree angle. The last time he had a kick at goal, it just dropped short, but he does know where the goals are for certain. Yet to get a goal today. And this could just be the fire starter Surrey Park need. They have been all momentum in that second term, but the 2 mistakes that led to turnover goals to O'Neill in the second term have kept the margin to a 2-goal margin to Kilsyth. Can loads up a ball, hooking ball. It's going to miss to the right and drop short, and allows again a rush behind because Curry just knocks it over. And there's been a lot of conceded points by Kilsyth, and they keep the margin pretty good for them. 2-10-22 Surrey Park trail early in the third term to Kilsyth, 5-3-33.
But a positive start from Surrey Park, getting that first centre clearance, which they haven't done in the first 2 quarters, as Luke Hoekstra calling for it right in front of us. That's where Jaden Weikart goes from the kick in from the side. Kilsyth man couldn't take the mark. Naidu boundary line beats him, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. So just over a minute gone in this third quarter of the EFNL Division 4 Senior Grand Final, as the ball about to be tossed back into play here. Higgins will get front position against Curry. Just went up on his own. McNay got the clearance though. Smith just stole it away from him. Umpire calls advantage from that, holding the ball inside 50. Mundy! He was about to play on there, Jasper Mundy, but he'll go back here, and this would be a crucial first goal for Surrey Park in this second half. As I said earlier, the final specialist has kicked 2 goals in the second semi-final against Kilsyth and 2 goals last week against Scoresby. He'll kick from a little bit of an angle right near the goal square. Comes in now with a slow, deliberate approach. No problems! And he goes the bull celebration. Surrey Park trail by 5 points now, 3-10-28, Kilsyth 5-3-33 after 2 minutes here.
That's a significant moment. That's their first goal from clearance, Surrey Park, and I feel like that the tides really started to turn in that clearance battle, especially in that second quarter, and if they can keep that going, we're on for a game here.
Yeah, they certainly evened that up, and physically they've been a lot better. In that first quarter, they sort of got bullied around the contest, and that hasn't happened since quarter time.
If they can get a bit of slingshot out of the stoppages, Surrey Park will look dangerous. Kilsyth will want to get the hands on the ball a bit more, I think. First 4 goals of the game, and they've been really relying on counter punches since quarter time. But McNay just snares it out of the middle and punts it as long as he can. But the big left foot goes all the way across field and out to the right flank and out of bounds. But he is happy to get a clearance, is McNay. and territory for Kilsyth. Going to the Mount Dandenong Road end. 5-3-33 leading Surrey Park. Slowly closing the gap. 3-10-28. 3 minutes gone in the third term. Tap one down by Surrey Park. Durand couldn't run onto the ball. So it's in dispute. Durand in there again, but it's bobbling around. Kick was hurried by the Surrey Park defender and it's gone out of bounds and it's out on the full. So it'll be a free kick to Kilsyth. And McNay will load up the big left foot as he walks his way inside the field of play. Long ball inside. Flyers go for it. No one gets their hands on it. So Haynes, the back of the pack, has to become a tackler. Rush kick at goal is just going to miss for Kilsyth. Didn't even make the distance. So no score and it's out of bounds as the Surrey Park defence were hurried to get some pressure applied. And it'll be a ball in. Curry, can he snare it out of the ruck and grab it and have a shot at goal? He did in the first term, but he'll have to run in board again. He's got front position, wrestling, knocks it down to his... Now it's gone feeding out. The kick in the pocket was a snapshot by Ayton, and from one pocket to the other, he misses everything, and it's dribbled out to the left pocket.
Have to be really careful off those defensive stoppages, Surrey Park. Once again there, Curry looking really dangerous, and they were able to get the ball to the dangerous forwards.
Yeah, he just lapped it down to his rover, and then it got out to Ayton, who just hooked it around too much. Again, Kilsyth dangerous when they've got a sniff of goal. They can burst out of tackles, but this time the tackles stick, and Surrey Park holding up 40 metres to the last line. Ball's bobbling around. Peters doesn't claim it, just knocks it out to the open spaces, hoping for a teammate, but it goes close to the line, and Surrey Park will happily see it over. Henschel's just skirting around the boundary line, hoping to bounce onto it, but his opponent gets in the way and knocks it out. And it'll be a boundary throw in 40 metres around for Kilsyth's goal. You just sense that Kilsyth, they're just steadying themselves for a run at the ball. If they can break free, they can have a shot at goal. Curry again. Higgins comes over the top, knocks it down. No clear possession, one for either side, and Surrey Park again tackles stick, and this time it's the big Higgins doing the tackling, and he'll have to come up and ruck against Curry. They wrestle. Curry, good position, wins a tap down, but Smith sharks it. Long kick goes higher than longer, and it's marked in the middle of East Ringwood Reserve, and Kilsyth will load up for another injection into the forward line. It's in the hands of Hoekstra.
He's on true centre wing on this broadcast side. He's had a really impressive game as Hoekstra. Launches inside 50. Big pack of players out the back. Surrey had the numbers. Ivanovic running through. Got the handball away. It might be rushed through here by Haynes. It isn't. And there's a goal! That's the response Kilsyth needed, and it comes through Henschel. They're up by 11 points again. 6-3-39. Surrey 3-10-28 after 6 minutes here in this third quarter. Just again, it looked like he got out the back and just no one on him. That was how Kilsyth got that first goal through O'Neill, and just poor marking again, Ryan.
And just in the context of the game, how important that kick is, because besides they got a late one in that second quarter from O'Neill, but besides that, it's been all Surrey Park since quarter time, so that's a big steadier.
Yeah, there's a couple of times that's happened where they've worked really hard to get back in the game, and then they just concede that easy goal. It just feels a lot easier for Kilsyth.
I think Kilsyth was smart, and Henschel in particular, knowing that Surrey under pressure were going to try to knock it out. And if you just skirt around the boundary, you might just get your hand on it. And Henschel got onto it, and there was no one in his way to run to goal and kick it from point blank range. Back of the pack, Browning trying to hold up the defence, does well for Kilsyth. He skipped. Noel Henschel goes one hand, but he felt some pressure coming to him, but he's got some help, and it's in the hands of Muschetti. Gets it to Wycard. He can't evade the tackle again. That's a throw from the tackle, and the umpire calls it throw, not holding the ball, but it'll be a free kick either way to the Surrey Park tackler, and they did well there, Surrey Park, and the short kick to Gale. Gets underneath it a little bit, so 2 grabs at it. It's about 2 kicks away from goal, especially when you do a short pass to the skipper and coach. Why not? Kenworthy, boundary side, half forward flank. Got another short just outside the arc, but might try to go longer now that he's taken a few 10 seconds. Now he does take that short option up, waiting a long time to be that option that finishes with the ball, and it's Bacon who'll load up the right boot. He puts it sideways. He probably didn't want to go that deep, but it falls to Smith nicely at centre forward, and from 45, Josh, has he got the length?
I'm not too
No.
sure. No, that's my
reaction.
short answer.
But he's put the ball on the ground, and
I
that
reckon-
seems very deliberate now that he's going to have a shot from 45.
I reckon he does have a pretty decent boot on him. If he was on the run, he would have gone the legs.
Well, he's gone long enough back to get momentum to feel like he's on the run. So he'll be kicking from 50, Will Smith. It's an 11-point margin. Smith loads up from 50. It's long. It's brilliant. What a goal by Smith. Any doubters? Great goal. He knew he was going to get the journey, and it was straight all the way. And it's a 5-point margin. Surrey Park closed the gap again.
Well, I was wrong.
Once again, though, it's that centering kick, that one on the 45. That's worked for them all day, Surrey.
And it worked for them last week as well, going that diagonal kick against Scoresby, so they've got to be utilising that a bit more. And that he's a classy man, Tom Smith. Stephen Jones medalist last year and only his first senior season, missed a fair chunk. And I thought he'd never come back.
Once he put the ball on the ground, that told me he knew he was having a shot at goal.
As Curry gets the hit out, looking for Weikart, evades the would-be Surrey tackler, doesn't get it inside 50. McLaren, inboard handball to Vitaka, bounce doesn't favour him. Durand bumped off Nathan Van Vegten, but it's all Kilsyth here, and Weikart got a handball over the top. Peters bursting his way through into the middle of the ground. It might pay off. Higgins able to run onto it. Will wheel around onto that right boot of his. Goes out wide looking for Kenworthy. It's a very dangerous kick. It still pays off. Sells closed in on him. As he looks down the line, he's got Mundy all on his own. His kick's not that great, and Hoekstra spoils it out of bounds here. It's a couple of hoods from the boundary line.
And he loved it. With that smile on his face when he received that. Loved it.
He's done a really good job on Can, hasn't he?
He's been fantastic.
He's, I feel like he's a bit of a cult hero out there at Kilsyth. There's the ball tossed back into play. No one went up in ruck. Umpire will call it back. Sean Curry not in the vicinity. He is now moving into position, but he won't take this ruck contest. It'll be Peter Wall that put his hand up, and it'll be up against Josh Durand. Durand with the one-hander looking for his coach Kenworthy. It's Valahay with the kick, looking for Nankaro up against Van Vegten. Bounced in favour of Van Vegten. It did for Nankaro. Kilsyth will be able to clear. Did really well. Did Travis Browning kick inside 50. Dangerous spot for Surrey Park. Gunson managed to get a handball away to Spencer Lamb. Over the top. Sells. Tried to apply the tackle on Kennedy, but McLaren will get the ball clear. Glaire couldn't completely control the ball. Invites O'Neill. Glaire went the toe poke. Keeps it in. Valahay the kick off the ground. It's all Kilsyth. And McNay able to cut it off. Wheels onto his left. Goes inside 50. Plenty of players parked underneath this. Van Veen on the ground, has the strength. Weikart has the class. Over the top to Jared Arthur. Deflected off Curry. That would have been a great goal from Sean Curry, I reckon that would have been, but it's just a minor score. Kilsyth 6-4-40, Surrey 4-10-34 after 11 minutes in this third quarter.
Weikart certainly lifted in his third quarter too. Another, just a couple of big moments for him.
So it's on half-back for Surrey Park, more deliberate and steady. The second kick from the kick-out goes to McLaren, who's got a short on, puts Nadeau under a heap of pressure, but he stands up, takes the mark, runs off. Now he's on the wing with full of pace, goes over the head of Bacon, but Bacon will run on the ball at half-forward, close to the boundary line, steadies his nerve, gets it to Smith. He'll go again from 40, running to 35. It's all the way. It's a goal. We have a tied-up game in grand final. 11 minutes, third quarter. The scoreboard reads 40 apiece, but it reads differently. Kilsyth 6-4-40 and Surrey Park 5-10-40.
And he could be your match winner today.
Yeah.
I was about to say, he's looking at that medal, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's certainly had a big third quarter, and as soon as he gets the ball, you know he's going to use it well, whether that's in front of goal or getting it off to a teammate, and that was a fantastic finish. I just never had any doubt that he was going to miss that one.
And that was still from a very acute angle. This time it was on the run. I was sure he was going to kick that, given it was on the run. But this is looking the goods for Surrey Park. They've tied this game up as we're back in the middle here of East Ringwood Reserve. Durand with the high leap, went too early. Arthur picked it up off the ground. Umpire will call for it again as in the same spot as before. So a very interesting third quarter so far. Surrey again getting on top with 3 goals to just the 1 as Durand shrugged out Arthur. It only goes to Jaden Weikart though, who has really lifted in this third quarter. Kick goes out of bounds on the full though, just as I say that. And it'll be taken by Ryan Kennedy, who looks like he may have been swung down back or could be thrown into midfield here after predominantly playing in the forward line in that first half. I starting inboard, Can offering a lead. He uses him, Hoekstra from behind, Can with the strong hands. Goes back on centre wing, broadcast side, gets the kick to the 40-metre arc. Mundy, does he take the mark? Chopping of the arm, says the umpire.
It was a push because it was coming from the front in a marking contest.
Is it going to be a Falahay free kick? No, it will still be going in the direction of Mundy. Vitaka offering a lead shot. He ignores him. Jasper Mundy is going back for this shot. He'll Good.
Mundy and Smith, so important here in this quarter. You look, they've gone all day for Can and they've gone for Paolini, and those two are primed, I think, to have a big second half here as those added goal kickers.
As Mundy comes in, off the left, he loves it! It's there! Surrey hit the front! 6:10:46, Kilsyth 6:4:40 after 14 minutes here in this third quarter. Brilliant finish from Jasper Mundy. That was a very tight angle.
He keeps his record for 2 goals in each final, and what an impact player from the midfield and going forward.
100%, and at the moment they are just running over the top of them everywhere around the ground, and another strong finish, which is probably their only issue in that second quarter. They weren't finishing off their good work, and now they're starting to do that, and very important 5 minutes here for Kilsyth. Got to get back on top in the middle.
They've got a running game, but it comes from tackles and getting into the contest. Bacon runs onto it, has to wheel back. Then he gets onto his right. It dribbles off the boot because he put himself under pressure. And Browning's there. Another good effort off half-back, but he kicks to no one in particular, that being the one person for Surrey Park to take it. The kick to Bacon's overcooked, but Falalai's there. Gets it to Glare on the bounce. He has to wait. Does Glare? His bundle kick just falls into the lap of Gale. Gale from 40. He's excited. Long ball, loads up. Paolini positions himself. Then they all crash into him. Ground level ball. Kilsyth, who will rush from the top of the goal square. Kept in by Can. Over his shoulder from the pockets. Looked magic, but it was a miss. It's now Surrey Park. All energy, all forward momentum, all shots at goal this last 10 minutes. 6-11 Surrey Park now lead by 7. 6-11-47. Kilsyth 6-4-40.
As they're getting up and about behind the goals, Hoekstra goes the torp to the halfback flank here. Lamb was spoiled from behind. Kilsyth have the numbers on the ground. Not for long though. McLaren. Handball was errant. McNay isn't able to control that, and we'll get a ball up here. Nitch through centre half forward. And Surrey's attacking half. They have really pressed in this quarter. 4 goals to just the 1-1 as Porter took it out of ruck, then swung into ruck after that, been sent to the naughty corner. And we'll get another ball up here. That's a line I know Brett Beston enjoys, the naughty corner.
He does sound like a father when he says it.
As Curry won the hit out at Porter with the athletic leap. It's Naidu, got the clearance, didn't go too far. McKinley Aiden, his kick will be run onto by Ryan Kennedy, who'll go back here. He's got Glare all on his own, not now. Van Vegten manages to man him up. Instead goes to Jasper Mundy, who has the hot hand at the moment. Got Kenworthy over the top, uses him. He'll look to go inside 50. Paolini offering a lead. Ignores him. Smith also offering a lead. Leads everywhere. Just goes short to Glare, who kept it in. It might have been out of bounds, but Jamie Glare, he might be going for the set shot here. This would be a spectacular goal as well if Glare was able to kick it. It's on the wrong side for a left footer from about a 70-degree angle just on the 40-metre arc. He comes in. This would be a spectacular goal, one of the best goals today. It's smothered, falls short, and will be taken out of bounds by Falahay and Daniel, and a bit going on off the ball. Kilsyth.
Dylan, what was happening with the man on the mark? He seemed to be a lot closer to the kicker. But
It was certainly coming forward on that man on the mark. I love the kick from Kenworthy, though, in the build-up to that play, because the long kick just hasn't worked for them all day.
As up goes Paolini in ruck. It's Curry that wins out, looking for Van Vegten. Falahay on hands and knees applies the tackle alongside Tom Smith. We'll get a ball up here. Another forward 40 stoppage out here at East Ringwood Reserve for Surrey Park as Porter goes up in ruck from behind, got the tap down. It's all Kilsyth though. McNay got the clearing kick. Kenworthy just nutmegged him there. And Daniel Ivanovic goes down the line. It's all Surrey Park though. Janane able to run onto it. Goes down the line. Naidu all on his own off a long. Wall from behind affected the contest. The ball trickles out of bounds for a boundary throw and right in front of the Surrey Park bench. They'll be happy. They lead 6-11-47 to 6-4-40. They've really stepped it up since that first quarter after conceding the first 4 goals of this contest. Ball tossed back into play. Curry got front position. Declan Lamb tapped it forward to Sells. Wrapped up Kenworthy, did Sells, and not going anywhere. We're going to get a ball up here. So 18 minutes gone here in this third quarter. It's Surrey that lead by 7.
Yeah, and it's Surrey doing a lot of scoring slowly. They've got in it. Now they seem like they're all run. And that's what happens when you're getting all the shots at goal. Bacon close to the line, gets to the Smith. He'll be under a whole lot of pressure into the corridor. So the turnover comes. Spencer Lamb, just as he tried to kick it, gets tackled. And that's the story of the last 20, 30 minutes of the game, that the harassment has been intense by Surrey Park, and Kenworthy picks himself up with the free kick.
Forward of the ball for Kilsyth. There's nothing there. In multiple times they've tried to go forward.
The kick to 40 just lands in between all players and eventually goes out of bounds. So we're 40 metres out from Surrey Park's goal. As we said, they've conceded the first 4 goals, but a lot of that was from their own negativity in terms of mistakes. So they're contributing to a lot of the scoring today, Surrey Park, and Kilsyth don't seem to have the answers in the last 10 to 15, as the last 4 goals have gone to Surrey Park. Smith's been a fire starter with 2. Mundy has been terrific with 2 as well this quarter. The ball getting out of the pack. Can Kilsyth burst forward? Sells. He hand passes forward, hoping to get a buyer, but there was no one to take it for Kilsyth, and it's gone out of bounds.
I think you're spot on, Ryan. The only time Kilsyth have looked dangerous is off like a forward half stoppage, something like that with Curry in there.
So it's still forward of centre wing for Surrey Park. What was a deficit has been quickly eroded in this third term, and now they set up a very handy lead to Surrey Park. And again, from the Curry, just trying to force himself into the contest and maybe get his side around him. He just knocked it forward and gained 10 metres. Maybe inch by inch can Kilsyth wriggle free of the tacklers and find a way to goal. Curry versus Higgins. That's been a great contest. Again, Curry knocks it forward, hoping for Sells to run onto it. He's under a heap of pressure. Durant gets onto the ball. Hand passes it backwards. Fallahay's on the receiving end of a kick forward. He runs forward, gets a quick kick to Vitaka. Vitaka had to bend down to take the mark, so that slowed him in his tracks. He's got to run at a hand pass it too. He decides to run around on the man of mark, takes a bounce from 45. Long ball to the top of the goal square. Paolini! He finished up being behind, but the big man's just too big. He just put his arms up and he took the mark in front of his opponent, and he'll have a shot from right in front and extend what seemed like an impossible lead. Is now going to stretch out to 13 points if Paolini kicks truly. From the 21-minute mark of the third term, Surrey Park are up and about, leading by 13 points. 7-11-53, leading Kilsyth 6-4-40. Paolini's kick 2, and they are up and about, are the Panthers.
Oh, this is going to be actually... I know it's only 13 points, but at the moment it feels more like a 4 to 5 goal lead with the way they're playing. Kilsyth just haven't looked likely this quarter, and inside the middle of the ground has been dominated by Surrey Park. They've had all the run, Dylan, and their pressure's been elite.
Yeah, we mentioned Weikart. The start of that third quarter, he looked quite explosive. He hasn't really done much since then.
No, he's had very short moments.
That's Curry. He might have looked to take it out of ruck himself. There's a holding free kick going to Kilsyth, to Drew Sells, as he goes back on his mark, given away there by Tom Smith, who had a bit of a purple patch in the middle of this third quarter. Goes down the line to a couple of one-on-ones out the back. Ivanovic got the kick off the ground, not necessary, out of bounds on the full. So starting to cause some mistakes to Kilsyth. They're looking some errant judgments, which was Surrey Park in that first quarter as well, making those errant judgments, as McLaren will take this kick in. Porter, the big target, flew. Was he taken out of it? He wasn't. Ray, handball over the top to Bailey Van Veen. Got the shot on goal, drifting to the right and staying there. Minus score. Surrey, they move to Kilsyth, I beg your pardon, moved to 6-5-41, 7-11-53 Surrey Park, as Porter looks like there's a bit of trouble there with his wrist. He already been yellow carded, but he might have a bit of time on the sidelines once again as Haynes got the kick in. Janane, who just came off the bench, flew. Machete read it well. Looked to play on immediately, got a man all on his own, but reading it well there, Jamie Blair, who stepped it up in this third quarter, as has everyone from Surrey Park. Kilsyth, though, get it inside 50. Garvin courageous from behind. Kennedy's kick was smothered. Janane just tapped it all on hands and knees. Fallahay got a clearing kick, looking for Jasper Mundy. He's up against Jacob Machete. Ball trickles out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw in 23 minutes gone here. It's Surrey Park leading by 2 straight kicks.
I might get a stat soon of inside 50s. It felt like Kilsyth haven't had much attack in the last 20 minutes, so the stats might tell a real true story. So we'll get Paul in a second when he's ready. But it's a boundary throw in centre wing at East Ringwood Reserve. Let's get the snapshot of the game. It was 17-point margin to Kilsyth at quarter time, 12-point lead at half time. Now it's a 12-point lead to Surrey Park. Time on in the third term. Hoekstra again holds up in defence, gets it to McNay. He wiggles his way away from tacklers. He gets his kick. Bouncing ball gets to O'Neill. O'Neill runs through the pack. Inboard he goes. Centre forward, his kick finds his teammate on the run. Henschel, he gets it inboard inside 50. Goes. The bouncing ball will elude the leading option. Haynes in good place. Picks up the ball. Hands it over to his teammate. And they're off again. Haynes boys can go again. Nancaro's on the end of it on the wing. He's got some open play here. Glares over the top to run onto it. No mark taken. The ball comes in late for Kilsyth, so they hold up in defence. Well, that was not a handball in the tackle, but the umpire allows it to play on. It falls away for Surrey Park, and they're off and running. Nancaro runs onto it, 45 metres up. Paolini on the end of it, 2 grabs, 3 grabs, draws it in. Mark, and he's been dragged down in the mark. Was it too over the top to be a 25 and a certain goal, or is the umpire going to just say, settle down, boys, you're getting on my nerves? I think he's just saying, calm down, we'll have a kick from 25. What's the inside 50 count now?
12-6 the way of Surrey Park.
So Paolini, if he kicks his third, he will push the margin to 18 points. Let's just conceptualise this. They were wasting their opportunities in the first half to trail by 12 points at half time, but after they conceded an early goal, it's been one-way traffic, and Paolini might just get the 5th goal in a row. It's close. The umpire's coming back to the middle. It's now Surrey Park leading by 18 after the 3rd goal to the big man Paolini. And what was a deficit all day is now getting a bigger and bigger margin for Surrey Park.
Once again, they come down that far side wing. They move the ball so freely.
Yep.
A beautiful kick inside the Paolini, and just the game's turned, hasn't it?
It has. It's turned on its head. It was all Kilsyth in that first quarter as we go to Paul Yukone in the stats centre.
The clearances are 12-5 the way of Surrey Park this quarter.
As they're getting up and about behind the goal. Paolini in the goal.
McNay back in the midfield. He was resting forward before. I think you need him right there because he's been their best player by far.
He's always been a threat as Bacon shark the clearance. They're going inside 50 once more. Surrey Park. Will Paolini run onto this? He does. Keeps it in. Handball over the top to Naidu. Paolini will pick up his own handball. Naidu runs onto it. Got the kick inside 50 to a dangerous spot. Was he pushed out? He wasn't. Umpire calls play on. Nancaro on the ground. Got the snap to the right. Surrey 8-12-60. Kilsyth 6-5-41 after 26.5 minutes played here in this third quarter on the Betty Go Bank scoreboard as Paolini looks a bit gassed after that contest. It'll be Jaden Weikard with the kick in. Calling for his players to come to this broadcast side as he plays on from the goal square. Kick going right in front of us. Flew did Jared O'Neill, but it's Janane out the back. Goes inside 50 looking for Can. Kicks goes out of bounds on the full.
Kilsyth just can't get it out of their own half at the moment. The territory
They've
battles.
just got nothing up forward, nothing presenting.
Astonishing.
Maybe throw Sean Curry up forward for a little bit as ball goes inboard. Weikard to Bailey Ray, who goes out wide. Nancaro up against Van Vegten. Van Vegten got the fist in. Nancaro did really well. Peter's able to run onto this. Got the kick over the top. It's going to be Kobe Vitaka that runs onto this. And he's confident. He's going back. Garvin was offering a lead. He ignores him. So what a goal this would be.
I think that's 7 in a row if he kicks this.
It would be 7 in this quarter
Yeah,
I think
so.
It might be 6 in a row.
6.
Did they get the first and then an answer?
And
something like that.
And you could argue the lid could almost be off with the Surrey Park faithful behind the bench as Vitaka comes in, drifting to the right. Out of bounds on the full, so a missed chance there for Surrey. 28 minutes gone.
They're holding on by a thread, really. 1 or 2 more goals and this is done.
Well, it'll be their first premiership as the club as we know it, Surrey Park, in the Eastern Football and Netball League as it is now known. But Kilsyth, still hope. 19 points with another quarter to go, whereas we're nearly at 3/4 time. Clearing kick goes the way, but it's chopped off again in the middle. So a load up ball for Surrey Park inside 50. Tries to go the roving, but the Kilsyth defence under heap of pressure. Browning at the back of the pack takes the handball receive, but he was dumped in the kick. So the umpire says it's downfield, unnecessary sling to the ground tackle, and O'Neill will get the free kick and allow the Cougars en masse to push forward like they haven't had a chance for a long while. So they'll get numbers forward of the ball. Will O'Neill. Kick go to a lead-up option. Nice mark on the lead. So it's in the hands of MacArthur. MacArthur's looking at options. Long ball. Hopeful that one could beat a 3 or 4. And Lamb won't be able to do that as Surrey Park push it out of bounds into the back pocket. So I don't know, with all those men forward of the ball, how they didn't have an option at the last kick in to the forward 50.
Yeah, the forward line, it's looking a bit dysfunctional at the moment for Kilsyth. They need to change things up.
Curry will try to impose himself close to the boundary line, snap around the corner, just might score by Ayrton, but it is a missed shot. Let's go boundary side. I'll just read the score out before I do. It's 60 plays 42. Surrey Park, who trailed by 12 points at halftime, lead by 18. We're nearly at 3/4 time. Let's go boundary side for comment.
Part of that dysfunction has got to be down to no movement. They've really struggled to actually put some pace on their leads and whatnot, and I think Surrey Park are holding them well.
Smith flew, couldn't take the mark. Blair on the ground. Waikar got the handball away to no one, but it's going to be a high free kick. Umpire calls advantage when there wasn't really any, but taking advantage there is Nathan Van Vegten. Got Jared O'Neill on his own. Bounce doesn't favour him. It does for Naidu. In fact, that was Gunson. Kick in the direction of Nankaro, who's got the leg speed. Keeps it in front of him. Does really well. Gunson catches up to him, though. Peters off the ground. Only finds Declan Lamb, but the tackle applied by Nankaro. Is it going to be holding the ball? Umpire says it is.
He's been so good, Nankaro.
Yeah. He has been a superstar again, only his 4th senior game.
Wow.
He's come into the lineup and has made a massive impact. Just one of those 8 under 19 kids that have come into the senior lineup as I build him up.
Yep,
He's kicked.
Nearly.
In fact, it will be out of bounds on the full. And
need to get Ryan Goodinson into the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a really quiet afternoon. He's a fantastic player, had a great season, but no impact yet.
As Hoekstra goes down the line, big pack of players, small from behind from Surrey. Fallahay down there on the ground, manages to keep it in. Handball over the top to 2 Surrey Park teammates. Got the handball away. Gale going inside 50. One last chance. Might it dribble through? Jacobs got a hand to it. Keeping it in for Taka. No, he doesn't. And there goes the 3/4 time siren. A massive 6-1 third quarter from the Panthers of Surrey Park. Sees them lead by 3 straight kicks at 3/4 time. 8-12-60 to Kilsyth 6-6-42. The major goal kickers, Michael Paolini with 3, Tom Smith with 2, Jasper Mundy, Kobe Vitaka with the other goals. Whilst for Kilsyth, it's Jake Henshaw, Sean Curry, Spencer Lamb, the single goal kickers, Jared O'Neill with 3. We're going to go to a break here in the EFNL Division 4 Seniors Grand Final. When we return, we'll go down boundary side to the Kilsyth huddle and we'll bring you the final quarter of action out here between Kilsyth and Surrey Park.
And her best friend Jackie's wedding invitation, she was overcome with a wave of emotion. While her 2 young boys wrestled on the floor, tears of happiness rolled down Sarah's cheeks as she saw the words she'd been longing to see. Please note, this wedding will be a child-free event. Well, Sarah, looks like we're off to Eastland for a new frock and some heels. And let's book in that babysitter. For all of life's little moments, there's Eastland. Eastland. Live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs, and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Tobin Brothers Funerals wear their heart on their sleeve. Their clear and easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app make it easy for families to make an informed decision. Here's James McLeod, Managing Director of Tobin Brothers Funerals.
We pride ourselves on being the most transparent funeral company. All pricing on goods and services are available on our website. It's all there for you to see and make very informed decisions when planning a loved one's funeral.
Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Do you want to study at the #1 sports science school worldwide? Study sport at Deakin and benefit from the most advanced sports facilities available, from running tracks to biomechanics labs, and decked out gyms to a climate chamber. Deakin have what you need to graduate ahead of the pack. Discover endless opportunities in sports science by visiting deakin.edu.au/sport. Deakin, proud sponsors of the EFNL.
You are listening to Radio Eastern FM 98.1.
With live and exclusive coverage of the EFNL football season, bringing you the match of the day with score updates from all divisions.
And now we cross to our commentary team for the Radio Eastern 98.1 Match of the Day coverage.
Last quarter coming up in the EFNL Division 4 Seniors Grand Final out here at East Ringwood Reserve between Kilsyth and Surrey Park. The Panthers, a 6-1 third quarter sees them lead by 3 straight kicks, 8-12-60 to 6-6-42. Dylan Smith, I'm going to throw to you first. Why do you reckon Surrey won that? Quarter? They've just been dominant all across the ground, I reckon.
I think they've been fantastic throughout the day. Even that second quarter where they didn't get the scoreboard reward, they've really been able to play the game on their terms. And the thing that stood out in that quarter particularly was the run. I think Kilsyth lost all their run, and then forward of the ball, just complete dysfunction within that forward line. One of the things we said in the pre-game was that Kilsyth would have those extra forwards, the third and the fourth forwards that could chip in on the scoreboard. It's been quite the opposite. It's actually been Surrey Park that have had those players in the likes of Tom Smith and Mundy, who have been super influential in this game. And I think in that third quarter, if Surrey Park had to kick one more goal, Kilsyth could be all over.
It could be. If they kick a goal early on here, it could be dangerous panic stations already. As we've gotten a score from Walker Park, Templestowe 9-5-59 to Heathmont.
Boundary
10-5-65 and Baldwin trail 24-52 as we go down to Blake Tennant on the boundary, who's with the Kilsyth coach Simon Caldwell.
Yes, got Kilsyth coach Simon Caldwell here. Simon, mate, you let them back in the game, 6 goals to probably 1 there. Talk about that, mate.
Oh, look, I think we looked a bit tired. I think we were trying to create that one-on-one, which we were able to do in the first quarter. But I think we looked a bit spent there, leaving too many easy exits for them, which is the way they play. It's the way they want to play. So this quarter we've probably gone. Forget that. We'll talk about that at a later time. Now we've got to do the same thing. We've got to chase.
Couple key changes as well you've made as well, but also you want to plan on attack. Is that the sort of brand that you want to bring in this last quarter?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've done it throughout the year. We've rolled up a hell of a lot. We changed the way we played a little bit against Surrey to go man on. We weren't able to cope with it that quarter, so go back to the way we played throughout the year and roll our backs up, take chances, switch the footy, and give it a crack.
No worries there, Simon Caldwell. Enjoy the rest of the game, mate.
Thank you to Blake Tennant down there with a what looked like a very nervous Simon Caldwell. He's got his work cut out here. What holds him in good stead, though? They are very strong in final quarters. Blake Tennant, boundary side.
Yeah, so just a couple of key changes for Kilsyth that they are bringing in for this last quarter. So Hoogstra is now going to go in the ruck. Wow. So he'll be starting in the ruck for you guys.
And Curry has been swung up forward.
And also, sorry, Josh, and McKinley Aiton will be playing off the half-back this quarter. So there you go.
Thank you to Blake there. We'll cross down to Jared and hear what James Kenworthy had to say in his final address for season 2023 as patrons are just dispersing off the ground out here at East Ringwood Reserve.
What do you think of those changes, Josh?
I think it's a good move. Aiden's a good ball user. Curry is that big target down forward, and Hoekstra has proven he can be thrown into ruck, but if it goes down the other end, they've got no one on Nick Cairn as umpire holds the ball off. Gavin Casey to get us underway in the final quarter.
Hoekstra versus Durant, so they've made a sit. Surrey Park have gone the smaller ruckman too. There's McNay, one of their best, picks it out of the middle, kicks it forward, bouncing ball to O'Neill from 45, open goal, long ball misses to the right, and so good has been McNay, and O'Neill had a flying shot, misses. 17-point margin early as we go to Jared Beedland to talk about Surrey Park's huddle at three-quarter time.
Yeah, I was there, and the electricity in the air around that huddle was epic to feel. They're very optimistic, and they know that this quarter is going to be a grind. They know that the job's not done, but there's a lot of energy around there. And just a quick injury update: Sam Porter out of the game with a broken wrist.
I was down there as well, and he's 100% right. Probably the best we've seen all season, the energy down there.
Well, Sam Porter, hopefully will have some painkillers later on tonight, but that'll be for future celebrations.
I don't think you'll be too worried if they get up.
But to see a club like Surrey Park, who've not won a premiership, to have a huddle that was 10 deep, and to actually hear them in the effects mic cheering, they are excited. Let's hope that excitement gets channeled professionally in this last quarter, and Kilsyth will throw everything at them from half back. The kick goes forward, bouncing ball lands into the hands of Kennedy. Kennedy goes forward for Surrey Park. Mundy again gets himself on the ball, knocks it to himself, runs it on, gets it to Kenworthy. Kenworthy gives it back to Mundy at centre forward. Long ball, load up, no, Falahay. Well, he pushed off his opponent because he was the only one looking at the flight of the ball, and eventually it drifted off to the pocket, and he fell backwards to take a good mark, did Falahay. So they are just the people attacking the ball at the Panthers, and it's all going their way. And it's Vitaka, Vitaka took the mark.
They are similar type forwards, I have to say. They can be live wires.
Yeah, so Vitaka miscalled him a couple of times, sorry to him. But from straight in front, if he gets the goal, he can celebrate. And it's a beautiful kick from the pocket, and he reaches out to the fans and says, how about that? The Panthers extend their lead in the 2023 Grand Final. It is now 72, plays 43. And from only kicking 2-9, they are now 9-12. 7 goals in this second half.
7 goals, 3. I think they had 11 scoring shots that first half. They've had 10 here, taking advantage of those opportunities still.
Yeah, and the run for Kilsyth, it has just completely
flat
disappeared.
on their feet, aren't
They won that first centre clearance, and then as soon as Surrey got the turnover, they just hit him.
As up we go in the middle again, Durant got the tap down. Smith might be able to run onto it. He doesn't. There's a high free kick being paid, and it's going to go in the direction of Lachlan Bacon, who's been superb in midfield today, particularly in that first half when they were trailing. Goes down to the half-forward flank here. Mundy from the side. Haynes pushed up the ground a bit. Got the handball away to Nankaro. Inside 50 he goes. Falahay from behind.
This time.
He finally having a bit of an influence up forward is Renan Falahay today. He's had his moments, but this would be for his first goal. Kicked 23 goals this year. He's also been a superstar the last couple of years for Surrey Park since coming into the senior lineup. We've got the perfect view of this from pretty much directly in front, about 20 metres out. Comes in with his slow, deliberate approach. No mistakes! Falahay celebrates. Surrey Park up by 29, 10-12, 72. Kilsyth 6-7, 43 after just under 4 minutes here in this final quarter.
That's pretty much all she wrote. I would say they are just all over them since quarter time, Dylan. They've been fantastic, and
that felt like party time, didn't it?
That certainly did. A margin, what's that now, 29 points.
Well, I think Hoekstra and McNay will probably still fight it out to the end.
They've had their top 3 or 4 players have had great afternoons, but it's probably the back 5 or 6 players that we haven't seen.
Wall just comes in with the big bump to knock Smith off the play, but again, Surrey Park get it out of the contest, kick it forward to Paolini. Duran will go off the ground with the kick. Nancarrow hits it up from centre forward, runs onto it, now spears a ball in, but it's been chopped off by Lamb, being Declan Lamb in defence for Kilsyth. He looks out aside for a player on. Long ball. It's a lot of numbers for black and white, and the Panthers will get onto it, and another load-up ball will come into the forward line. Paolini leads up. Punch comes in late, knocks it to the boundary side, and Peters can't get to it before it goes out of bounds.
It's great work by Surrey, though, for sticking with their guns, because, they've been beaten up around the ball all year by Kilsyth, and their running game styles really come through here.
And to have Higgins off the bench, as we'll go boundary side for some of that comment.
Yeah, so Travis Browning is hobbled off the ground. It looks like the back of his knee is a bit sore. I'll get back to you a bit shortly.
McNay gets the hand pass received, but he's under a heap of pressure. The umpire will say you didn't have any prior, so it's a ball up, half back for Kilsyth under a heap of pressure, and Surrey Park 50 metres from their goals, out of half forward. Ball up goes. Hoekstra does win the tap. Ground level ball won again by Surrey Park, and then it goes to Can, who had front position. It was a sort of a half lead. He just found his way to the ball and takes a chest mark under a heap of pressure, and this will be a celebration if this goes through the middle. So he's taken a few marks inside 50, but he has yet to score as the sharpshooter from Surrey Park. But knowing him and the way he likes to signal to the crowd after a goal, and the margin it will be, if it's a goal, it's party time. The goal umpire will start the celebrations, and Can just subdued for the moment, because I think the moment has already happened. They have kicked clear Surrey Park from trailing all through the first half to have now kicked 9-1 in the second half. They lead by 35 points, and Surrey Park, 6 minutes into the final term, are potentially on their way to their first premiership.
Just been able to run over the top of the ground. I was interested as well if they were able to use that run and gun style in these absolutely beautiful conditions as Hoekstra got up. Kilsyth will get his clearance. McNay evaded a couple of tacklers, got the handball over the top. Ray under immense Mitch Gale pressure, too much. And he'll get the free kick here on true centre wing. This broadcast side looking inboard, bit hesitant as he goes to true centre half forward. Parked underneath, this is Peters, dropped the mark on the ground. Daniel Weikart looking for Goodinson over the top, able to run onto it. Got that kick to Nathan Van Vegten, was wrapped up, and Surrey will be able to clear. Kennedy looking for Bacon, sun in his eyes, affected the contest. Vitaka dancing his way through a couple of Kilsyth opponents, going across the ground, looking for Nick Can. Out the back, he's got plenty of space. He might go for goal here. This could well and truly seal the game. And it has!
No, he's missed.
Again, I went too early.
He liked it off the boot.
He did. Surrey 11-13-79. Kilsyth 6-7-43 after 7.5 minutes played here.
You wouldn't know if he kicked it, because he would have celebrated hard on that one.
Well, if yesterday was going early, that's how excited Josh has been. But we move on as it's still game on. Knocked forward from the kick out by Surrey Park. They can't get control of it. Trying to push off his opponents was Muschetti. It does eventually go Kilsyth way, but again the wall sets up nicely. Chopping off is Garvin at half forward, and he'll slow it down because they've got all the time in the world just to keep possession of Surrey Park. Inboard kick, still on the wing, finds Peters, and he's ready just to slow it down even more. I reckon they'll play a bit of tempo footy if they can, because the clock winding down will just mean that they're closer to jubilation. The ball goes out wider, and now all the open numbers are still with Surrey Park. Blair again when he's great in the open. Kicks it to Kenworthy running with the ball. He takes one hand at it, spills it. Paolini close to the boundary line, hooks it around the corner when everyone's stopped, and he nearly gets it all the way. Bouncing ball bounces away from goals in the end and goes around the right point post for a boundary throw-in. Let's look at the scoreboard. It's now a procession down all the way to Mount Dandenong Road. and it's a 9-minute mark of the fourth quarter. It's a 36-point lead to Surrey Park. Who would have believed it when they trailed by 12 at half-time? Only the faithful. And it's been a long journey to this moment, but there's still 20 minutes to play out, and it'll be a free kick to Kilsyth with Jacobs. Short pass, puts his teammate under a heap of pressure. Duran runs onto it, hand passes to a teammate again. Bacon's got it from the right flank. He goes and props up a kick, running onto Smith. And even the simple mark is athletic and spectacular because he pirouettes and spins and takes the mark with late heat, as we'll go to some stats before Smith kicks at goal.
So Surrey Park have taken 4 marks inside 50 to zip in the last quarter.
So he's in contention for the best on-ground medal is Smith. If he kicks his third, it will be due award for someone who stuck in the game in that second quarter to get Surrey Park going. And in the third, they put it on the scoreboard. His third is on the way from the boundary line. He kills it in, and that might just get him close to the middle. He's definitely in contention. Smith with 3 is now big party time. And Surrey Park have not seen a team like this before. What will be a premiership. 85 plays 43. Effects might pick up the supporters. They're singing, the reserves, the fans. It's a bit of celebration and party time. This is the fun of a grand final. We think of Kilsyth, but this is a big moment for Surrey Park.
It is a massive moment. Their first EFNL premiership. They're on the way up to Division 3 next year as the ball's tossed back up. Higgins, Smith, sharking the tap. We'll go inside 50 here. Out wide looking for Jamie Glaire. Runs onto it. Got the handball back to Charlie Nancaro. Short option in Michael Paolini. Umpire calls play on, not 15. Wheels onto his right. It's just drifting to the left and hits the post.
He's another one in that conversation for that medal, you'd have to say. Who do you like?
I'd probably be leaning more towards Smith. I just think he took the game by the scruff of the neck in that.
He's been fantastic.
In that, particularly in that third quarter. And it'd be terrific for him to add to the Stephen Jones medal.
What about the club, Josh? I mean, obviously you know him well, and I mean this is huge. This is a history-making day.
This is massive. This could be the start of something because we keep talking about the junior program. They've got those 19s coming through. They're playing in the grand final next week. I've got no doubt there'll be big celebrations down there at the club as well. There's the clearing kick from Kilsyth from the stoppage. Kennedy able to run onto this, looking out wide for Jasper Mundy. Got good position. Can go back here, Jasper Mundy. Potentially put his third on the board. He's been terrific all day. Has Jasper Mundy in front of goal. He's been terrific this final series. As he comes in now from directly in front. Just inside the 40-metre arc, or right on the 40-metre arc. Just drifting to the right. It's through! It is through! Jasper Mundy with his third. Surrey Park with their 13, 13-5, 93, 6-7, 43. A 50-point margin, which is quite remarkable. We wouldn't have thought that at the start of today.
And as if on cue, Mundy's probably another one that's in that conversation.
Mr. September himself.
That's 5 marks in the forward 50 for Surrey Park in this final. In the forward 50 overall for marks, they've taken 14 marks to 1, Surrey Park.
So they conceded the first 4 goals today, but now they are 13 goals to 6.
They only kicked 2 goals in the first half too, Surrey Park.
They could have kicked a few more, and they've given away probably a few in the first half when we talk about the mistakes in defence and ill discipline. But since then, they've just been all over Kilsyth, and Kilsyth now get it out of the middle through Ayrton. Ayrton just bundles into Peters, who runs at it, whilst Kilsyth looked shot to the spot at the moment, and the ball does get wrapped up 7 forward as Peters couldn't run away from defence with it. So here you can hear it on the effects mic. They're banging on the... It's going to be party time at Surrey Park. If you're in Surrey Hills and you want to know where a party is, Canterbury Road is the place to be. Anyway, play goes on. Kilsyth trying to go forward, but again the defence hold on. They haven't had to do much in the last 30 minutes. Ball goes to Ivanovic. and he knocks it out of bounds, and it's 50 metres around from Kilsyth's goal.
How were things at the club, Josh, this week? You're obviously down there, and were they confident coming into the game?
They were pretty calm, I have to say. They were reasonably confident, just talking about running over the top of the side and on beautiful conditions. But I feel like they were a lot more calmer, whereas last year they were a bit nervy, a bit excited because it was their first grand final, and whereas this time around they have that experience and it's held them in good stead, Gav.
As they get the ball out of defence, again they might load up if they can get out in the open, but close to the line, Kilsyth get the smother in, and it's out of bounds, out of wing. Scoreboard just to check, we haven't...
Heathmont up by 7 points in the Division 2 preliminary final.
And we'll check on Doncaster East if they're progressing in the finals against Balwyn. It looks likely in the Premier Division. But here in Division 4, the Premiers will be Surrey Park. We've never said that before. Surrey Park 13-14-92, lead Kilsyth 6-7-43. Their last premiership was 95. It will have to wait one more year at least. As the ball goes from half back to half forward. Again, marked by Surrey Park out in the open. Out in front of Glare. Glare runs onto it. He could have run on for another shot at goal, but he's going to take the shot from 40. And he looks to put the 6th goal on the court for the quarter, and we've only played 15. And Glare, he's been a good player. And Bacon, that run that they've set up has been very good. The kick came forward from Gale, I think. And Glare from 45 metres out will be kicking to the Mount Dandenong Road end. It's just icing on the cake. And it hits the post, I think. Just to the right it goes.
It was a mongrel of a kick.
It was a mongrel. It took a lot longer than it should have as well. It floated, and it's a minor score. 13-15-93. Surrey Park lead Kilsyth 6-7-43. 16 minutes, fourth term.
As Drew Sells goes through the corridor. Can read it well, took the mark. Remarkably, only one goal for the leading goal kicker in Division 4 today as he darts it in the hands of Jasper Mundy. Let's call him Mr. September. I wonder if he will enjoy that as well. He's been absolutely an absolute star in this final series as Jasper Mundy.
Mr. August, because it's only September now.
Yeah, Mr. August. As they're already starting to celebrate down there. Mundy comes in the meanwhile, doesn't have the legs. Marked on the line.
Guess who?
It's Big Mick Paolini. He'll have to go back on an angle.
Didn't he mark it in the goal square?
I think he might have just taken it out. Nevertheless, he kicks the goal. His 4th of the day. Surrey Park's 14th. 14-16, 100 to Kilsyth 6-7-43 after 17 minutes here in this final quarter. In this second half, 12 goals to just the 1.
And although we sort of said the margin's a little bit surprising now, it's past 50. To be fair, they have dominated from quarter time. After quarter time, they've owned this contest and should have been in front probably at half time. So
I said at quarter time, even though they were losing that game and they were losing the clearances at that point, but they'd taken all the territory, and I was really surprised by that. And it's turned out to be a good omen for them the rest of this game.
17 minutes and a half gone in this final term, and I think Kilsyth are happy to finish it now. But there's still some party time. It is such a run that they've kicked 6 goals unanswered this quarter. Surrey Park on top of the run they had in the third term. The run in the third term, and this is where the medal might be run for best on ground. Smith, Mundy, Paolini taking marks. Bacon.
I was going to say Bacon.
Glare has been good.
They've kicked 11 in a row. The last 11 goals, Surrey Park.
And this stop and play, why we're going through the name calls of best on grounds, because it's going to be a Surrey Park player, and Ryan Long will be reading out a name soon enough.
Yes, certainly will be. Be down
Masters of Ceremony. But the Masters of Ceremony is on the field for Surrey Park. Mundy drops the mark inside 50 from another clearance. This time it was by Kennedy. The ball's, again, another shot might prevail for Surrey Park, but they couldn't get their hands on it in the pack of players. And from 40 metres out, they will look again to get the 12th in a row.
This ball's tossed back up. Curry tapping it down. He's worked hard all day. As Nankaro evaded a couple of tacklers. Drifting to the left, and stays in. Bounced on its point, but now trickles out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So another forward 50 stoppage, 19 minutes gone.
What a story he is, Josh Nancaro.
Yeah, and in his debut as well, he was a late inclusion, so
it's one of the best stories in grand final week.
4 senior games, and he could be set to play in the under-19s grand final next week as well. As the ball is tossed back into play, Kilsyth will be able to clear their defensive lines through Henschel. Spencer Lamb only kicked it to Ryan Kennedy off the ground. Inside 50, here he goes. Kenworthy swung himself up forward. Out the back, Vitaka bursts the speed, drifting to the right. Surrey moved to 14-17, 101. Kilsyth 6-7-43, 19 and a half minutes gone here in this fourth quarter.
Josh, Kenworthy took over as coach when the coach left.
Yeah.
Mid-season. What about the journey for him?
I think he's only lost, I think he's only lost 7 or 8 games in his tenure. He's lost, I think 2 of those losses came to Sylvan in finals. Obviously, they've lost a couple of times to Kilsyth, but he's just done a phenomenal job since stepping into the role in an interim capacity. He's now taken on the role full time, and obviously they had that rough patch in the middle of the season, but that was when players were injured. They had players travelling overseas, and just he's done a terrific job with the squad he's had.
I thought he was one of their best earlier in this game too, especially in that second quarter when they started to get on top.
The kick goes forward from half-back. Bouncing ball, Glare. That's Mundy getting onto it. Paolini will see it fly over his head. It might go through the big sticks. No, the bounce of the ball took a huge leg break, and it's gone from a certain goal to missing to the right, and a minor score from Mundy. They've gone to crack the 100, 14-17, 101. Kilsyth 6-7-43. And from trailing at 12 points to be leading by 58 points in 50 minutes of football to add 70 is magnificent. Let's go boundary side to Blake Tennant.
Yeah, just got an injury update for Kilsyth. Ben Van Veen has just come down hobbling off the ground, so I'll get back to you on that one again shortly.
Smith was wrapped up by Sells after intercepting that ball just outside the 40-metre arc. Ball will be tossed back up on this broadcast side. Just ticked into time on here in this final quarter, as it looks like there might be a blood rule here. There is. Looks like it'll be Drew Sells that has to get bandaged up late on. Might not see him again today. He's also fought pretty hard. Kilsyth, there's some of their players that have fought up, but it's just, those bottom 5 or 6 players that haven't really stepped up. Whereas you look at Surrey, there's just continues to be contributors all across the park as we wait for Sells to get off the ground. Higgins will now move into position for this ruck contest. Ball tossed back up. Curry. Higgins from behind. Kenworthy at this stoppage. It's Weikart that gets the clearance. They're going into their attacking half for Kilsyth, but will he be able to run onto it? No, he doesn't. Boundary line will beat him, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
With Goodinson not getting into it, they haven't had the structure, efficiency going forward. It's pretty much self-inflicted wounds by Surrey Park conceding scores from turnovers. That has been their only avenues to goal. As this time they tried to get it out, but the hand pass forward was to no one. Falahay tried to kick it off the ground at the back of the pack. Lets Ivanovic get onto it. Walls might pick it up. He's balks by one, and he gets onto his, instead of his right, he gets onto his left, and he misses to the left, and a minor score, which is ironic. Cheers from the Surrey Park cheer squad. It's Kilsyth 6-8-44, trailing by 57, 22 and a half minutes gone, final term. 101 plays 44. It was 20 plays 3 to Kilsyth's advantage. It was 33 to 21 Kilsyth's advantage, but Surrey Park had a lot more shots on goal. A big third quarter from Surrey Park had got them to an 18-point advantage, and they've gone on with it with 6 goals to none in this final term. But it's now in the hands of Kilsyth. Can they get a consolation goal? Bounce of the ball, big fight. Again, the forward half, so if it goes inside 50, there'll be no one to mark it potentially for Kilsyth or Surrey Park. The umpire's going to play on, whistle goes, there might be a free. The umpire's just, I think with Malays, you just let it play out and then report players later. But it's getting so physical that this is quite concerning. Surrey Park don't need to get involved. Kilsyth obviously have frustration with how the second half's gone. But this is what you call a melee. But on the sidelines, Falahay just cheers and celebrates because he knows he's on the winning side. And a few players look on from Kilsyth, dejected that the frustration is showing. The faithful of Surrey Park's been G'd up by Peters. They are clapping and cheering the reserves and the cheer squad behind the goals. Surrey Park exit the melee with fists waving in celebrations. There will be potentially send-offs. Don't know where the ball's going to be. There is one card. It's a yellow. And it is...
White
Wycard getting a send-off. He won't see any more of this game. He's been valiant in the first half. Unfortunately, a lot of players have had a poor second half for Kilsyth.
Had a great season, and obviously today, and their stars, McNay, was massive in that first half, but they just didn't have probably enough contributors.
I think they just got, as well, just beaten by the game style of Surrey Park, that run, and they, at the end of the day, they just weren't able to go with them.
And Kenworthy did say these sort of conditions, a dry deck, East Ringwood, use the space, they would be able to certainly get the job done, and they've done that today.
So what was going to be a stoppage at half back is now a free kick to McLaren, who gives it to Nankaro.
So Nankaro, again, a terrific story. Durant calling it in the middle of the ground as the Surrey Park faithful start to get up and about behind the Dublin Road end of the ground. Nankaro going down the line. Mundy parked underneath this. Got two hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Plenty of players on the ground here. O'Neill applied the tackle and will get a ball up. There could have been a bit of niggle there as well. There isn't. Let's get a ball up right in front of the Kilsyth bench out here at East Ringwood Reserve. Ball tossed back up. It's Curry with the tap. Van Veen trying to burst his way through. Good to see him back on the ground. Ray couldn't evade Tom Smith, who just ragdolled him to the ground. But Kilsyth are out here through Henschel. Got Goodinson running over the top, ignores him. Goes instead to Jared Arthur, who's on the synthetic wicket out here at East Ringwood Reserve in the middle of the ground. Goes out wide, looking for Goodinson. Cam might be able to run onto this. He can't. Goodinson kicked it forward, and there's going to be a high free kick going in the direction of Kilsyth, and looks like it is going to Henschel.
Heathmont look to be home 82-68 over Templestowe.
So it could be Baronia Heathmont grand final as Kilsyth sets out from home from just outside 40. It was McNay with the shot on goal. It just hit the left post though and through for a minor score. Kilsyth 6-9-45. Surrey Park 14-17-101.
Haynes kicks it out wide, and of course, man on the open is Kenworthy. He's got a knack of having good intercepts, plays, and then finding open play too. Short kick finds Gale. He'll take his time to survey options. He's pointing at players, being a bit of a cop out there, and then he's just short passing it out wide, because the more it's in hand, the less trouble they get into before the final siren, because they're just waiting for celebration time. When Josh Ward will be very excited, so I might get him on the mic just before the end. I'll just keep control for a minute as Garvin hand passes it over. They're just playing around, playing for time really at Surrey Park, and Kilsyth are not really getting too involved either, as they would be very disappointed with their second half.
It is hard to believe.
Out of bounds.
It is hard to believe that midfield of Weikart and McNay, those sort of players have been well beaten by the Surrey Park midfield today, Ryan.
Yeah, you're certainly right. I just, as you said, you probably said with the game style, the way they've come into this game, they obviously knew they were very strong, and there he is again, McNay, but they've been able to limit their impact without,
Nearly another intercept mark for Surrey Park. Vitaki gets onto it. He just spins around him, just runs around everyone. They're standing still. They're like cones on the field as he runs around. Hand passes to Durant. Durant gets open to Kenworthy. Kenworthy from 50 won't be having a shot at goal. His pass misses Smith and goes out of bounds. And I'll hand over to Josh Ward to finish this game. 28-minute mark. It's a 66-point lead to the Panthers on the way to their first premiership.
And I think you're right, Dale, because McNay's had obviously plenty of the football, but I mean, going inside 50, there's not many options that have presented to him. So
yeah, and I guess that does also
afternoon.
comes down to that dysfunction in the forward line that we talked about as well. But just since half time, or since quarter time really, Surrey Park have just had everything on their terms.
Just that second quarter, they weren't able to take advantage of their chances, whereas this second half, they've kicked, I think it's 12 goals, 8 in the end. So they've kicked a lot straighter in front of goals. The ball's tossed back into play. Gale runs onto it, got the kick inside 50 to the deep forward pocket out here at East Ringwood Reserve, and ball will be taken out of bounds right in front of what was a packed area before. A couple of fans have dispersed from the ground. 28, just under 29 minutes gone here in this final quarter. Kilsyth 6-9-45. Surrey Park 14-17, 101, as there's a bit of a scuffle going off the ball. In fact, there's a free kick being paid here, and it looks like it's going to go to Ryan Kennedy. We'll go back here. This would, if he kicks this would tear the house down, because it is a very tight angle, the wrong angle for a right footer as he comes in. Will kick from just outside the 40-metre arc, brings in the barrel, just falls short. Kilsyth through Drew Sells, able to read it well, immediately plays on to McNay, goes in ball looking for Goodinson. Mark taken, got a handball option, and that is McKinley Aiden. Goes short, finding Jared Arthur. He's got a man out wide, and that is Jake Henschel, whose eyes are darting inside 50. Will he be able to run onto it? He does. There might have been an off-the-ball free kick. There's a bit going on between Josh Durand and Ryan McNay. There's a yellow card being given, and it is going in the direction of Ryan McNay, who has been stellar in midfield today, as Kenworthy and Vitaka already celebrate. This getting up and about behind the Surrey Park goals. They're already celebrating on the Surrey Park bench. What a momentous occasion it is for them, as Durand just goes backwards to Haynes. Umpire will call this ball back. Call back on his mark. There is Jared Arthur. It's going to be definitely party time out at Surrey Park, that's for sure. As Durand take this free kick at Truce and a half back, now goes backwards. The kick's not that great to Can, but has all the time in the world. Takes it out to this broadcast side right in front of us. Sells takes the strong intercept mark. Kenworthy trying to call back. Sells' kick is intercepted by Fallahay, who will take all the time in the world. Garvin was on the outside of the Calvarite, instead uses his coach in James Kenworthy. Just again, slowly building up the last couple of minutes. You wouldn't think there'd be too much longer left. There's the siren! Surrey Park are Division 4 premiers. The first senior premiership for the club. 14-17, 101 to Kilsyth 6-9-45.
Oh, we're from Surrey Park. The mighty Panthers, we're from Surrey Park. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and chin. We'll fight for the black and white, for the Panthers always win. Oh, we're from Surrey Park. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the Panther of old, we're strong and we're bold. Oh, we're from Surrey, we're black and we're white. Oh, we're from Surrey Park.
Well, the pictures tell a story. This would bring a tear to the eye of any neutral that follows the Eastern Football League, because we know the history of this club has had its troubles, but this is the pinnacle of a lot of hard work from some diehards at Surrey Park, and the players and the supporters jumping in jubilation is a culmination of a club maturing to their best moment in their history. 2023 Division 4 premiers, Surrey Park.
What a moment. First senior premiership for the club. They've won 2 reserves the last couple of years, and it's a big season as well, with of course the 19s playing this time next Sunday, or earlier on next Sunday. So the first premiership for Surrey Park could be the first of 2, but you feel for Kilsyth as well. Just touching on Kilsyth, they've been by far the best side all season long. Just couldn't have picked Surrey Park on a worse day in dry conditions, which has suited Surrey Park. As we go down boundary side to Jared Beanland, who's got an interview.
We've got Michael Paley down here. He's just sharing an embrace. And, mate, First of all, very simple question. What does this mean for you guys at Surrey Park?
It's unbelievable. Obviously lost to Granny last year, so it hurt last year, and to do it this year is just, and for the club, we've been down in the doldrums for so long, and to finally do it on the last day is fucking outstanding. Excuse the language.
Yeah. That was always going to come out.
Yes, I'm down here with Jasper Mundy. Jasper, mate, you've done it. After what the big fella just said there, mate, it hasn't obviously soaked in yet, but has it for you, or what's it going to be like for you now?
Oh, I'm over the moon. Real season playing seniors, and to get a flag is just unreal. I love this fucking club, and they've just done really well to push through and get the W.
And on the day, guys, the forward line was functioning way better than expected, I think, especially against such a big-bodied defence. What do you guys put this win down to taking on Kilsyth today?
Look, we just went to work during the week, and we're really strong in what our structures were going to be today to hopefully win the game, and it really worked to isolate, 2 players at a time, and the scoreboard takes care of itself. So that was key today.
Hey mate, just a quick one, mate. Just to talk about your celebrations. I am loving those celebrations. Do you do this at training every week? Like, do you like do the old horn that you did before that one? And there was a few others. You must be a crowd favourite down here at Surrey Park.
I don't know, it just kind of sprung onto me, just self-proclaimed bull, just the celebration. What comes to mind, it's just the it's funny though.
And one more for you, Jasper. Big night tonight. Unfortunately, the reserves couldn't get up today, but I'm sure the supporters and all that are just going to be through the roof tonight. It's definitely going to be a big party at Surrey Park tonight, that's for sure.
Regardless, it's going to be a good night. We won for the Rezzies. They fought hard and we fought hard. It's been just an awesome day, and I just can't wait to celebrate with the club.
Well, there you have it, Jasper Mundy there. Congratulations. Enjoy the day, enjoy the night, and maybe even the week.
I will. I'm not going to be sleeping for 4 days. So
there you go. Well done, mate.
I'm with Jasper. I might not be sleeping for days either, but what a terrific performance from Jasper Mundy, who's come into the senior lineup. When I was down at the club, there was high hopes for him at the start of the season. He played a couple of games last year with the Oakley Chargers, and he's slowly gotten into the groove of things, and he's been an absolute phenomenon in midfield and up forward, Gav.
Let's just go through the goal kickers, because you mentioned Mr. August. You were calling him September, but it's Mr. August / September. For the winners, Surrey Park, Paolini finished up with 4, Jasper Mundy kicked 3, and so did Tom Smith. Also 2 to Vitaka, 1 to Can, and 1 to Fallahay. For Kilsyth, O'Neill kicked 3 in the first half. Lamb and Curry kicked a goal each, and Henschel was their only goal kicker for the second half with his goal. So the end score, 14-17-101. Surrey Park are the premiers, 6-9-45 Kilsyth, as we go to the presentations.
Over to the presentation dais. We'll begin the
so that's just more of a crowd control announcement, but we welcome Wayne Brasher in to talk through something we do here on the broadcast is we talk about the players as they receive the medal.
Yeah.
Give them a wrap, a comment or two.
Yeah, look, what a fantastic win for Surrey Park. As Dylan alluded to, after quarter time, Surrey Park owned the contest. It was just almost like a matter of time when you thought, Gav, that if they had a kick straight, the game could have been over at half time.
Well, momentum's a funny thing. Eventually, it either ends in a score, a run of score, or the opposition make you pay and you just lose all hope because you try hard and you don't score. It can go the bad way, but it didn't today.
I just think as soon as Kilsyth lost their forward line structure, I thought that they were in real trouble. They had all of a sudden they just kept pushing all their guys up forward, trying to find a way of getting a kick so they could have a shot on goal, and they just couldn't do it. I think a lack of discipline in their in the way that they structured in the second half brought them undone. I thought the run of Surrey Park their outside run, they absolutely annihilated Kilsyth in the second half. There's no way of putting it. Nankaro, Mundy, Vitaka, Can, and then Paolini just, tops it off, at full forward. And I actually think, him actually coming back into the side was probably the main difference throughout the year, right? And that set them on the right path to a premiership, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about that run, and it was something that we discussed on the podcast on Friday with the other match up there too in Templestowe and Heathmont. And you look at that final too, not to go too early on the Templestowe-Heathmont one, but it looks like Heathmont have got up there as well. And there's, quite the comparison between the Surrey Park side and the Heathmont side with that extra run that's really stood up in finals.
To be honest, there wasn't much between them for the last 2 years, and even this year, they were quite even. And I think if Surrey Park were getting out in the open, then they had the game in their hands. And as much as they've got real quick speed out of the contest themselves, they just weren't released. And early on, some of the missed hand passes were Wycard. They weren't getting to a player on the outside. That first hands was becoming useless early for Kilsyth, and they only scored goals from probably getting good position.
There was something up with them structurally today, for sure. As you mentioned there, the missed handballs in the midfield. Up until quarter time, at least, though, they were still winning that contested ball. I think the ground ball and stuff like that was still on Kilsyth's terms. After quarter time, it just completely switched. And Surrey Park, as Brash alluded to there, they absolutely owned the contest. But I think there's probably still something in the back of our minds that we thought, because Kilsyth have been that best side all year, that they'd find a way to work their way back into the contest.
They couldn't ping. No. Their best quarter was the last quarter all year. They'd won 15.
And final presentations. Congratulations to both clubs for making this year's grand final in Division 4. A commiserations to the Kilsyth Football Club. A fantastic season. Fell short today, but a lot to look forward to in your future. And to the Premiers, Surrey Park 14-17-101 defeated Kilsyth 6-9-45. We're going to start our presentations by introducing up to the stage EFNL board member Bruce Atkinson to present the Best On Ground medal, the Colin Tayton Best On Ground.
Well, I reckon there's a raffle here. I reckon there's 4.
The 2023 Colin Tayton Best On Ground medal from the Surrey Park Football Club, number 10, Tom Smith.
Yeah. Worthy winner.
Yeah. Put together a phenomenal senior career today. Division 4 best and fairest last year, and now best on ground in the grand final. Not a bad resume.
His opening 15 minutes of that third quarter was absolutely scintillating, I reckon.
He was a fire starter for sure, wasn't he?
Yeah. Even though they weren't getting the score on the board, it was players like him that got it going.
Now Bruce will stay up on stage to present the premiership medals, starting with number 1, Sam Naidu.
I thought he had a quiet day today, Sam Naidu, but played his part throughout the rest of the afternoon.
Spent a little bit of time on Wycart there.
Number 7, Renan Fallahay.
Come into it in the second half.
Played a bit higher up than usual in midfield at times, but still was terrific.
Number 8, Charlie Nankaro.
What a story.
Terrific story.
This young man was a revelation. Have a look at him.
Number 10, the best on ground, Tom Smith.
Can't say much else about him, just...
Well, we've already said it.
Everything you want in a midfielder and a forward.
Number 11, George Haynes.
The general down back. Had a quiet one, but most of the Surrey defence did. They didn't need to do too much.
Pretty understated today, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, they were under siege early, but they gathered their composure.
Number 12, Lachlan Bacon.
He was great in the centre. His midfield, his second half, in fact, his last 3 quarters were great.
Number 13, Ryan Kennedy.
Now, this is a true story of a young man who's come from absolutely nowhere and is now being rewarded with a fantastic medal.
Number 14, Jasper Mundy.
Mr. August, Mr. September, call him whatever you like.
How many contests did he win inside forward 50?
Number 15, Josh Durand.
War 63 today.
War 63, there's a bit of quiet applause. But he was good.
Yeah.
I thought he was good in ruck as he comes up now.
I think, along with those other guys, he did change the game in that third quarter in the ruck.
Number 16, Mitchell Gale.
I think what they did is they went for a more mobile ruck option in the second half, and that allowed them to run and jump a bit more, I think. So
Number 19, Jamie Glare.
He was good on a wing. Provided that spark and that exit option as well.
Number 20, Nick Can.
this kid has got all the tools in the toolbox to be a superstar of this competition, I reckon.
Number 21, Jack McLaren.
I reckon he was pretty solid, McLaren.
He'll love that.
Down at centre half back, I thought he did exceptionally well under a lot of pressure early.
Number 26, Michael Paolini.
This guy is a club legend. No two ways about it. He's a heart and soul type guy, this bloke.
Is great. Getting his three kids up on the stage as well.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier, Brush, that contested mark that he took at the top of the goal square in the third quarter.
Number 27, Callum Garvin.
Little pocket rocket, Cal Garvin. Had a couple of bad moments, but still, it was good.
Started slowly, but he got
Number 30, Ryan Higgins.
Fought hard in ruck against Sean Curry and really got on top of him in that final quarter, or that second half, if I'm being honest.
Well, Curry had no influence.
Number 34, Kobe Whittaker.
This guy's pretty lively. He's got a few tricks.
Balahay and Vitaka up forward could potentially be lethal.
Show
their liveliness.
Number 40, Sam Porter.
He's got a very bright future ahead. Been one of the... Didn't have a great game.
Had a colourful day. Had the broken wrist and the yellow card.
But we're still...
Number 52, Damon Janane.
Actually, the Stewie Jew lookalike, I reckon. I thought he was quite serviceable. I thought he did some nice things. Did maybe not have the possessions, but he did a lot of 1%ers that we didn't, we don't take much notice about.
Good kick on him too.
Number 54, Lachlan Peters.
I thought he was good down in that line, last line of defence.
Number 28, Noah Bennett.
This is where the medals get extended out to people
do.
that have contributed. The club has to nominate them, so they deserve a medal.
And of course, he came out last week with the broken elbow, but still been serviceable as well throughout the season.
Welcoming to the stage, Riley Tempany.
He probably deserves a medal for his because of his service to this club. He's been there through the dark days, and this is a victory not only for for him as well.
Underrated defender as well. Always
the trainer, Dave Garvin.
What a moment for him. Gets to do it alongside his two sons in Matt and Cal, and his other son, his eldest, Josh, also playing in the reserves grand final as well. So family affair today for the Garvins.
Young Josh will be feeling left out tonight, not without a medal.
Trainer, Eleanor McKenzie.
Trainers, the absolute backbone of any football club. Without these people, you don't have a fit side on the park.
Her and Garvin have done a terrific job all year. The trainer crew. Give a bit of a shout out to them.
Assistant coach, Barry Cole.
Well, especially when you have a playing coach, your lieutenants on the boundary line become even more important. So a medal thoroughly deserved.
Shout out to hurry up to get to the podium.
Assistant coach, Kane Hendon.
Been terrific since coming across, of course. Was last playing with Doncaster, come back to the club this year and done a terrific job.
Smart footballer too, very smart.
Speaks well as well in that quarter time.
Yeah. The premiership captain, number 6, Matt Garvin.
Another premiership medallion for him, this time a senior premiership medallion. The former Vermont and Wanturna South man.
And joining him on the stage, the premiership coach, number 9, James Kenworthy.
He really has, turned this club around and made it a great place, a destination.
We'll let the captain and coach say a few words.
Firstly, to Kilsyth, we know exactly how it feels. You were the team to beat all year. But yeah, good luck next year. Hey, and to our boys, a lot of heartache last year, a lot of adversity, a lot of blokes went through our side, and we picked up and we went again.
I was going to say the exact same thing. We had hurt up here, so
a couple of issues.
What's going on here? We had that exact hurt last year, so you boys stick together and you'll come back bigger and better next year. To our boys, what an amazing effort. Absolutely proud of you guys. As Garv said, we've been through a lot this year, and to come up with that special performance in the second half is absolutely amazing. Thank you all for coming out today. It was an absolutely amazing day.
And up they go.
Oh, we're from Surrey Park. The mighty Panthers, we're from Surrey Park. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and chin. We'll fight and fight for the black and white, for the Panthers always win. Oh, we're from Surrey Park. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the Panther of old, we're strong in the...
What a moment for Surrey Park. Division 4 premiers for the first time ever. They're getting up and about down there on ground level, but yeah, we'll keep saying it. They have been behind Kilsyth for pretty much this entire season, and you know, on this day they're able to knock them over. They're on the way to Division 3 next year as well, and they've got a bright future with those 19s coming through. Obviously, I don't think they'll have too many that come through this year, but in years to come they'll have those 19s coming through, and they've got the depth as well to really do well in Division 3. Obviously, you've got the standouts like Donvale, Ferntree Gully. They'll go up against Sylvan again, but a terrific achievement for the club, Gav.
To be honest, I think their group is so exciting that there'd be Premier Division clubs or Division 1 clubs that would be watching this and going, we wouldn't mind one of these players. So I think from a club point of view, they wanted to win a premiership. They wanted to advance in this competition, but I think they needed to. If they're going to keep players, they have to progress.
But I also think too, and now that they've won a flag, it gives them a great advertisement, Gav, moving into Div 3, where they get the opportunity now to try and recruit some players based on the success that they've had. Sometimes the balance, this is obviously such a young group, you can only see them improving once again.
Yeah, and you know, they might bring back players as well. There is plenty of Surrey Park players.
There's plenty of schools that it's a rich area.
It is.
It's got some great schools, and those schools keep the players away from local footy. And if they want to play with their mates, Surrey Park is the place to be now.
Moving up to Div 3, what do you think they will need to compete with those sides like a Donvale, like a Ferntree Gully, Josh?
Maybe a tall forward. Obviously, Michael Palini is that tall target, but he's not going to be around for much longer. So probably if they get a tall forward, probably I'd say a bit more depth in midfield, more bigger bodies as well if they are to take it up to the likes of those sides. But I think on their day they can definitely they're definitely going to be more.
However, if some of these younger guys, who some of them look 40 kilos wringing wet, go through and do some weights and that throughout the summer months, they're going to come back with the 20 games experience and a premiership, and that's going to be confidence. They'll take it up to quite a few sides next year.
They will. As we're about to wrap up out here at East Ringwood Reserve, Gavin Casey, an absolute pleasure to call alongside you today.
What a great day. I enjoyed being here for Surrey Park's big win.
Dylan Smith on special comments alongside Ryan Long, who's a busy man doing emceeing duties, but doing a terrific job as always. Dylan, Ryan?
A history-making day, Dill. Congratulations to Surrey Park Football Club. Very, very happy for them.
Yeah, enormous day for them. And, you know, to come through, they lost that premiership last year, and to be able to bounce back is fantastic. Had a great day, and congratulations, Josh.
Rash hosting pre-game, doing a terrific job. Paul Yukone, as always, in the stats centre, our stats guru. And Jared Beanland down on ground level as well. I'm sorry I took away calling after your terrific job alongside Gab last weekend, but I'm sure you enjoyed it down there on ground level with Blake Tennant. Oh. That does us for the EFNL Senior Division 4 Grand Final. Surrey Park Premiers 14-17, 101 to Kilsyth 6-9, 45.